Hello, SpeedGaming too, and welcome to the Super Metroid and A Link to the Past Randomizer 2v2 co-op tournament. This race is between AceT with ACE0 and Tracy M on the left, and Oumslaw with Hitaka and Maniacal on the right. And hello everybody, I'm joined by Osher. How are you today?
I'm good. So should be a good race. This is a 10 seed AceT versus the 7 seed in Oumslaw. And yeah, so Hitaka and Maniacal are both pretty comparably strong. I know Maniacal has a big emphasis on trying to route intelligently and strategically and looking for outs in bad situations. And yeah, they're all pretty knowledgeable. All four of our runners here are pretty knowledgeable in both games.
Yeah, I'd say that as well. They all four have a lot of experience in the combo randomizer itself, as well as the games individually. I'd say probably Hataka is the only one I haven't seen do SM only rando, but he's still good at the game, so. Actually, no one on AceT going into Super Metroid first. That's kind of interesting. Most of the teams have been splitting up the beginning by having one person come down to the first two items in Super Metroid. And Tracy finds a sword in Sanctuary, so that's really, really nice to have that weapon early.
Yeah, it's kind of nice in co-op. You get to kind of go in both directions. You don't really have to pick one. Get the knowledge of both at the same time.
So nothing too exciting early in Super Metroid. Tracy also getting a triple with bombs, so that's very lucky. I'm not sure which number tier that was. 2 or 3, I'm sure. And another bomb from the cactus.
That's tier 1, it
tier
looks
1.
like.
Wow. Nice.
Because that's the easily repeatable one. You just need one kill for it.
And Ace already into Saha.
I think some people like to do this if they get bombs right away. And going to a dead-end Eastern without the bow isn't as punishing in co-op. The information tends to be valuable. And your other partner is probably still making progress elsewhere. Where did we see the Cane of Samaria?
It's gone now.
Oh,
so,
actually, sorry. I assume that was a misclick. Okay, yeah, that was probably a misclick.
We do have our friends Bright and a lot of fists on tracking, so big thank you to them for helping us out tonight. Ace did find a half magic in Saha, and it's nice when you find those safety items not too far out of the way, so your partner doesn't have to make up an excuse to go get those things later on in the seed.
Yeah, so is that a green pendant desert that we have? And a regular pendant in Hera?
I think they're both regular pendants.
Oh, the graphic on the tracker is a bit hard to see.
Yeah, it is. It's hard for me to tell.
But 2 pendants in Light World, regardless.
Okay. Leno saying desert is green pendant. Yeah, generally when you have 2, at least, Light World pendants, you're going to need just about every item at the end of the seed. You'll need Cane for at least one of Turtle Rock or Mire. You'll need a medallion. Fire Rod for at least Skullwoods or Turtle Rock, things like that.
Yeah, you end up with the less interesting possibilities for skipping items.
Mm-hmm. Has anyone been Kakariko? Just Tracy. doing Kakariko. Taka gonna check out Mini Moldorm.
The fact that you got bombs really early, I think a lot of people are actually trying to do kind of the play where you normally don't have a great chance to do stuff other than Kakariko, but if you do, then like if you've got bombs and a sword, you know you're not going to run out in Mini Moldorm Cave. You can try to go other places, try to get like a bottle or a flute or something that you'd want to walk back to Kakariko with. I think that's why we're seeing so much divergence at the start here. The game gives you really easy tree pull for bombs and a sword, so it's just kind of a free-for-all right now.
Well, Tracy did find Morph, it looks like, in one of the CAC checks.
Alright, so it's even more of a free-for-all now. Go anywhere you want.
Yeah, unless you, like, scoop up the boots or the flute early, these Sphere 1 checks kind of end up coming out in the wash anyway, no matter which order you decide to do them in. You're probably going to end up doing them all.
Okay, I've seen 2 items in A0's Eastern for sure, but not sure if that was the third. I know I got an E-tank in the map chest.
There's that ball in the well for Maniacal. I think I did see someone gather power bombs somewhere. It's very descriptive, I know, so they at least have some way to break blocks in Super Metroid.
Yeah, in version 11, they started making it so that supers and power bombs are guaranteed to be somewhere in Sphere 1, which is nice sometimes. It's nice to know that there were some rather interesting starts you could get when that wasn't the case, though. I kind of missed that. But it is nice to know that they will be somewhere. Book. Hitaka finding the book in the castle map.
Yeah.
Looks like he's the only one choosing to do the castle right now.
Yeah, without the key, anything behind this chest, or that chest, is going to be out of logic without the key or the glove to get the key.
Or the lamp.
Yep,
Because
or the
if
lamp.
it's in Dark Cross.
Lamp, lamp, lamp. So if you find something good here, it could give you some information about the seed. That's not information, though. That's a reserve tank.
Yeah, it's a bit too reserved to give any information.
It's shy.
So I do like that the half magic was at least in Zelda, because if you find it in Super Metroid, it doesn't actually refill your magic. Hitaka is gonna take a death here and then go for Dark Cross. So just reserve and supers logically locked behind the key. So he's gonna go for Dark Cross, which is a little bit of a risk. It's out of logic without the lamp, but also for all he knows, this could be the map, since that has not shown up yet. It could be a key to go to the back as well, but the best thing for value here would be for it to be an item.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of nice to get this out of the way, though, if you can, because it sometimes gets really, really difficult to justify going back here like 2 hours later for one check, missing something here.
Yeah, the sword definitely helps. I think without the sword, you just abandon this check altogether. It's just 20 rupees, though. It was an item, though, so he knows that. So the map and the key are in the back, locked behind the glove, so there'll only be one item when they are able to check the back of escape.
Maniacal going into Super Metroid and doing Gauntlet right away.
This is a little spooky. Just one E-tank and no suit. does have the 10 power bombs needed to get in and out. He can go out the back. I actually might put off the front of Gauntlet for later myself, but someone as good as him might not.
I usually like doing it when somebody has already checked the back from behind using power bombs, because then you can know for sure whether it's worth continuing through to the back or not. 'Cause if you know the back is junk, you can skip doing this dangerous section. Just reset back to your ship. And it looks like Tracy is going to jump into SM as well. So she'll be the first on her team.
It's Gauntlet all junk, and he does risk kind of abandoning like 230 missiles and Bomb Chorizo for a little bit, going through this way. He does remember to go back and check the Terminator item, which is Vanilla E-Tank.
The Terminator item is like the classic forgotten major in SM Rando races for people that rush Gauntlet.
Bomb Chorizo just having supers. Tracy up to 15 now. Michael's still only at 5. Looks like Ace is planning to do the same Dark Cross play. Nope, he's saving and quitting. He's actually up to 6 hearts. He's pretty healthy right now.
Yeah, I think they're out of stuff to do in Link to the Past, though. Where is Hitaka? Oh, Hitaka's going for head check.
Wow. Oh, Fairy Suit in the back of Billy Mason. Tracy picks up Wave Beam at 230. Which will be pretty nice for her Brinstar tour. We'll help her out a little bit, get the wave gate easily, and also just killing enemies faster.
Yeah, so Varia showing up in Brinstar Loop means that both runners will end up in this area at some point. Brent Loop is kind of interesting in co-op because you could have one runner go into it, and it's a possibility they'll find absolutely nothing, and the second runner will not have to go to Brent Loop at all. But then the runner who went there would also get all of the safeties that were here. So it can be good to find something required here to make sure that your partner isn't missing out on health and ammo and stuff like that.
For sure. Michael finds the ice rod at Edakun Supers. Tracy coming in right behind him, gonna get her Varia. Hataka going for the mode item. Maybe we'll attempt the CWJ, but it is Ice Beam. So Ice Rod and Ice Beam for Oumslaw.
Yeah, so CWJ is always in logic and hard. You can get to the Rick ship with basically just Morph Ball, Power Bombs, and Supers. But even if you don't feel like attempting it, it is still very often worth just picking that mode item, maybe making one try at it.
Yeah, I wouldn't really expect Hitaka to be super thrilled about going over to a Phantoon fight right now. Just knowing that Varia is out there. And also Space Jump that Maniacal found there. Tracy will be happy to see that. Ace actually making the dip into desert with that book, which I really like. I hate the feeling of stranding something there on the desert ledge. Oh, and it's not boots locked.
Yeah, the boots locked information is a lot more important when desert's a crystal. But I guess what Ace is trying to do now is see if that book has anything immediately required. Because some of the most awkward items that you get in co-op are when you get items that open up checks, but you don't know if they're required. And especially if it's in a part of the game the other runner doesn't necessarily need to go.
Big note, Hitaka did find the hammer at Beta Power Bombs. And nothing in Desert. Ace did get both of the items, 300 rupees and a power bomb. That does give him Zora money, I believe, but Zora is not in Logic yet without the Glover Flippers.
Yeah, sometimes you get your two players on your team very disparate in resources because of checks like that. So in that case, you'd kind of keep it in the back of your mind later that if somebody's going to end up doing Zora later, it should probably be Ace. But without the Moon Pearl, they can't convert the fake flippers into a water walk to check the waterfall cave. So that makes rushing that sequence break less good. Oh, speaking of,
Yeah. There's that Moon Pearl at speed. That's where it was in our race.
Well, oh yeah, I remember because I forgot it.
What is this PRNG? Yeah, so almost Dark World access. Still need a glove from somewhere.
Yeah. So Seed seems to be opening up very quickly. Cane of Samaria that charge missiles.
Ooh.
So the whole Bryn loop has good stuff in it.
Flippers too. So yeah, every team member needs to do some of the Blue Bryn loop today.
All right, they just need high jump and grapple for Dark World access.
Kind of surprised Ace is coming through the gauntlet here. I guess Tracy didn't check the back on her way in. Maybe she just muscle memoried away. He does pick up the missiles that were in the back, though. That's his first missile pack. I'll probably come through here, get his wave beam at 230, and then maybe come down Blue Bryn. Might want to refill his power bombs first before he does that. Yeah.
So the space jump and Varia to me is implicating Bubble Mountain, really all of Upper Norfair.
Yeah, indeed. Even like Crockmire is really easy to get to. For Tracy at least, doesn't even have to gate glitch.
Actually, both Space Jump and Ice Beam put Cathedral into logic. SMZ3 is a bit weird to think about sometimes because we don't use the level data patches. One of the things that's like unique to SM only rando is it removes one of the ledges in Red Towers. You can get back up it with no items, and it removes the legend before Cathedral, so you can get up to there without a movement item. But any of SMZ3 seeds, one of the movement items showing up can kind of implicate getting to Cathedral. It's easy to forget that you can't get it without any of those items.
Taka with the first boss down in Kraid with a nice quick kill. Let's see.
Oh, Ace is turning off Ice Beam. I guess doesn't want to deal with it being annoying and freezing enemies in his path. Turns it off on the elevator. So if you pause the game at the same time as riding an elevator, it makes a transition happen when Samus's feet touch the transition tiles instead of when she's completely off screen for downward elevators. I'm not sure why. Did we call the hammer in beta PBs?
I did.
Okay, I missed it. Oh, I remember now. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, if I have Hitaka here, go ahead and check this stuff at high jump. He could save Scum, Ice Beam, and Crumble Tower if he chooses to. Might not have the energy to get in and out though. But he can check the first couple of items in Bubble Mountain. Or the other mountain, Death Mountain.
Okay, so high jump has got a shovel and Cane of Burno so far. Oh, and speed booster.
Speed. Well, that's nice. They don't have to go through Cathedral now, but they should remember to check the item in Cathedral at some point.
Yeah, it's pretty easily forgotten if you always take the speedway. It's tempting to do that. But Hitaka's gonna go out back to Zelda. This is the spot where you can go get the old man, get your saving quit point. You usually want to do this via Super Metroid if that's your only access, so that you can make sure you can get back to Death Mountain and Norfair quickly and not have to loop through Super Metroid every single time.
Ace, being naughty, didn't even pick up the wave beam, so used almost all of his supers to get the gate glitch to come here at Blueburn. He's lucky he has a lot of E-tanks, or he would die, for sure.
I forget where wave was.
Is that 230?
Oh yeah, you know, I probably wouldn't have grabbed it either.
Yeah, you'd be in the same position.
It's like, if something is 2 rooms away, if an item is 2 rooms away, you have to go through 4 door transitions to get it and get out, and that adds up a lot.
It's worth it. It is.
Well, it depends what the item is. Wave beam is a pretty good beam in this game, at least.
Alright, Michael is remembering to check Cathedral. Just gonna go through this way. He did pick up speed. We had one of our red crystals at Thieves Town, and Ice Palace is the other pendant. I didn't see what the other red crystal was.
The other red crystal was pod.
Hookshot at Cathedral. Don't want to forget that, for sure. Which is kind of unfortunate, because Hitaka was just there at Death Mountain, and now has to go back to get his hookshot. Nice kill created by Tracy as well. So 1 boss each. We got the shroom at the Norfair Reserve missiles, which was also the same as RC yesterday, but...
Squint suspiciously.
Squint. Are they playing RC? Couldn't be. They have Morph. Plasma at Old Miller Brain. That's nice.
That's different, at least.
It somewhat takes the blow off not picking up wave, but he should still pick it up. It will still save time overall if he finds charge.
Well, I don't like that plasma showing up is one of the reasons that I wouldn't go out on my way for a wave. Is because you'd still have the chance of it popping up like this. Like wave is nice, but it's not like 4 door transitions nice. I don't think.
Gravity suit. There, the missiles with 4 speed. So Michael's all decked out.
Okay, this is classic. You can do everything. SMZ3 seed. That gravity is Darkworld access because they can go through Meridia with the hookshot. You could cross the river. So really, just about everything is open except for Metzlocked stuff and various incidentals.
Yeah, aside from ammo, Super Metroid is completely beatable now.
It's nice to have multiple locations you can go. More manageable in co-op to have these super open seeds. And solo is kind of tough when it's this open because then advantages you get from finding things become very luck based. It's open enough that it's still kind of luck-based to an extent in this situation. Oh, Tracy got herself trapped between the gates, which sucks. You have to reload the room for this. Not sure what happened there.
She might have stopped a little too early. You're not used to actually having speed for this room.
Yeah,
if you're a rando player.
I think maybe like it looked like maybe she had gone for the block ball and then realized that she didn't have to do it, but then had triggered the other gate already. Oh, right. See, the thing about not spending the time to pick up wave is that you get information earlier for your team that helps you be in go mode faster.
He didn't though, because he wasted the time that he would have otherwise had by doing the gate glitch and missing it.
Oh, okay, that's true. Oh, so you just don't miss the gate glitch then. That's Hitak and Maniacal still have a shot at that. Although Maniacal is at a gate right now. I guess he just glitched it open though, so he's fine.
Silly gate glitchers. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Ace did not take 4 transitions worth of time to do the gate glitch. But Maniacal is going to Croc. Ace picking up the ice rod. Turtle Rock is a crystal today, so we do need that. So it's good to not have to hunt for that, but I guess good in a way. If you feel like your team or you are an underdog, you might want things like that to be in more scandalous places, but at any rate, Tracy could go straight to Croc from here, but she's choosing to go back around, I guess. She's already checked Ice Beam. I would have kind of liked her to go around Croc Speedway. You don't see it too much in this.
Oh, yeah. Would have been a really good way to rush Croc. And in 2v2, it's kind of more acceptable to do that, go to locations that might not be required. In solo, like, you definitely want to wait for more information before making a decision on Croc most of the time. And then in solo, your only way of getting new information is to go find items yourself. So
yeah, I like Maniacal doing this too, because Hidaka, just by the path that he ended up taking, is a little bit behind on item collection because all the items are here in Big Pink and stuff. So Maniacal has time to scout this out before he and his teammate are pretty evened out.
Yeah, that's something you really have to practice with your partner too. Is communicating and knowing how to like give your partner something they can do that's not overlapping you.
Maniacal choosing to do the gate glitch while having Space Jump and Speed Booster, both options to get him through around the not as slow way, but you know.
Yeah, I find that a little out of a decision, but it works out. Sure, he's having fewer issues with gate glitches than he was a couple of years ago.
Itaka actually gets the chance to check whatever this is waterway. It was nothing though, but I don't think anyone else has routed in a way that they were able to check that.
Ace getting the nice crumble jump off the crumble block on the way to Spazer, which is a time save over waiting for the block to reform.
That block takes forever to reform. I know, because I wait for it every time, because I'll fall.
Wait patiently for block to reform.
It's actually like, if you attempt that and you fall and go back up, like, that's about the time that the block finally reforms anyway, so I guess you might as well try.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a free attempt. I think more people should try it. The only way that you'd lose time is if like you mess it up so badly you get grabbed by the yapping maw, I guess. I do like that. That's one of my favorite things to do and like see pulled out.
I think Maniacal had a couple good options here. I kind of he could have gone to Lone Warfare, to be honest, but it's a little sketchy right now. He can take his hookshot to East Death Mountain, which it looks like that's what he's going to do. Tracy finds that hookshot as well, so they'll both have it. No teams are going to forget that hookshot. I'd also kind of like to see Maniacal head towards the wrecked ship sometime soon, so he can grab his hammer.
Yeah.
If he had the hammer now, he could take East Death Mountain all the way to Hera, which is also pendant, but it's good to scout Hera.
So for going Lone Warfare early, I think you really want to make sure that your current super count is good enough to deal with GT, to deal with Ridley. Otherwise, you could wait and like try and find supers elsewhere that would make it faster later, and you'd be doing other checks in the process. Plus, with speed, speed in both suits, it's just really easy to decide to go through Gravitron anytime that you want.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes sense to wait for at least the chance to maybe snag a screw attack or a plasma beam. We do know where plasma is. I don't know that Oumslaw knows where it is, but Hitaka's about to find it. At any rate. Get our first look at Paradox. I am curious about that mushroom hiding there in the inventory. They could actually already fake powder because they do have the cane and the hammer.
Oh yeah, that's true. The fetch quests are really good to get knowledge on as soon as possible because they're one of those things that your partner doesn't know if they have to pick that up or not. So X-ray and mirror in Paradox.
Well, now Maniacal doesn't need the hammer to get to Hera. I can just use the mirror.
Yeah, no fire source, but does have the hookshot to do a Hera pot. Could potentially isolate an item in the basement. Then isolating items in dungeons though isn't so bad in co-op because you can get your partner to delay doing the dungeon and clean up the item you missed when they have a chance to, hopefully later in the game.
Yeah, you definitely like to see at least one item in the front of Hera along with the big key. That would be the ideal situation. And then maybe have the second item somewhere easy. Because Maniacal and Hitaka already know that pedestal is dead, so it's possible they don't even have to worry about killing Moldworm for an item.
Yeah, if you get lucky and the two items show up right away, but I think you would kill Moldworm before you would try to check basement, even if you did have the fire source.
I agree with that.
So I am curious if so Tracy's got a lot of ammo right now, but I think that she would not be the type to want to go to Lone Warfare with this amount of energy.
Yeah, I think so too. She doesn't have plasma either to help her out, so yeah, I don't think she'll be going there quite so soon. But yeah, she does have a lot more ammo than Ace does.
It is a bit it's like slightly unfortunate that they're in the exact same spot right now, but she's just letting Ace do this. Actually, did Tracy do the mushroom before? Or is Ace doing this by himself?
I think she picked up the mushroom.
Oh, okay, so
So everyone's got the mushroom except Hitaka.
Okay, that's not as bad then. Then Ace is just doing things that she's told him are available.
At least for now, those supers there too are pretty valuable, so it's not like Ace went horribly out of his way for a mushroom that's nothing.
Yeah, that's true. So she's going up the elevator now. I guess this is a Meridia play. I think maybe Ace will go back to Zelda from here instead. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, I like this. Meridia is full clearable with the exception of Check Tool. No Ice Beam, no Grapple Beam yet.
Meridia is actually also currently Dark World access, as I said earlier. So, if a glove doesn't show up, it could be the only way into Dark World.
That is true.
It's looking decently likely too. There might just be one in Meridia. There's quite a few checks here, but
Nicely done on that short charge to get the Main Street missiles, which was vanilla. Crab Super is just an E-Tank. Should probably head to Mama Turtle now. And Maniacal is getting his hammer. Likely see him go to the wreck ship at this point, I would expect.
yeah, we haven't really seen anyone do that.
No,
It's pretty comfy. Both suits, space jump. Decent beams, I guess. No charge. It doesn't matter too much for this area, though. But easy exploration of things like sky missiles that are often a problem. You could get the Recture Preserve item. That was kind of weird, actually. Hitaka just went and peeked at the wave missile. I guess
You go in the wrong door.
I guess so. I assume Maniacal was already here and told him wave is nothing and he forgot. But it looks like Hitaka's going to Lower Northern from here.
That's interesting. I don't know if I would expect this from Hitaka, but they're sending him.
He's got plasma. He's got over 30 current supers. He's in the best position to get things done there out of anyone we've seen so far.
He could also be coming here for the intention of scouting Golden Chorizo and scouting Meyer and Desert. He doesn't have a mirror yet, though, so...
Oh, yeah, that is kind of interesting. Maniacal's the one with the mirror.
Yeah, like, that's a little unfortunate.
It is a little bit. A play he can make is just actually leave the Meyer area behind entirely. And because like he also doesn't have a glove for checkerboard. Well, he doesn't have the mirror for that either. But does have Kane. I don't know. Like Meyer is he could be missing a medallion that could let him get into Meyer. That would be a better way to do it later. But no, he is going to GT.
Yeah. He didn't take the save either, so he can't reset out of this if it's nothing, so he'll have to fight Golden Chorizo. She's got 34 supers, so he's got plenty of ammo to do it, but it kind of stinks when you don't have charge beam. You actually have to refill your supers.
Yeah, little bombs and watering hole. Not really that useful with space jump and all this movement, but it's still nice to have. So yeah, Hitaka is going to do GT. I kind of like leaving the GT Meyer for later in some situations. Like I was saying, you can keep all of your supers for Ridley instead. So he's going to have to farm them back up if he wants to do Ridley on this trip. Which I would say is the better reason to come down here at this time.
Yeah. Nothing locked behind the Golden Chorizo fight itself. Ace found the big key in the compass of Hera, so he is going to Hera plot, see if he can snag the 2 items here.
Yeah, so that's not a necessary Hera plot since he has the big key, but it can be a little bit faster for the purposes of getting up here.
See, Hitaka is... Oh, he's a small key for Ace. Taka is going to the Mire area. Yeah, I think it definitely would have been a lot better for them to split this up where Hitaka goes to Meridia instead of Maniacal.
I just don't think Maniacal is as well equipped for Lower Norfair in particular. This desert, like, so I don't know if their team saw Desert.
I
Or
don't
if
think so.
it was Ace that checked it out. But the book being available, they can at least get to desert area, so not being able to meet her isn't as big of a deal as it could be.
Got our first bottle at Aqueduct, and oh, Moldorm is the map, so the second item is in the basement. Free pendant. That always feels bad. Because once you're like already at the big chest and you got one item, you kind of have to kill Moldorm at that point. It's not slow, but it's still time that you could be doing other things.
I still think it makes enough sense to do that. It's not. I don't think it's too bad of a feeling, just because your opponent's fairly likely to do it too. If they decide to make this play, like with Big Key and Compass in the first two checks, I think it makes a lot of sense to go up because you're gonna get at least one item up there.
Yeah, and they don't know that nothing is on pedestal yet.
Oh, they don't. That's true.
It's just Hitaka who checked that. Hitaka taking the farm. Looks like Tracy filling up before the Batoon fight. I think she already checked the sand pits. I don't think we saw anything in them. Oh yeah, we do have Ice Beam, just Tracy doesn't have Ice Beam for the Shack Tool check, so it looks like that Maniacal's gonna go an Ice Clip to Shack Tool.
Yeah, Shack Tool is a terrible check in solo, but in co-op it's much more justifiable. He's only got the Ice Beam to freeze the Puyo, which is a bit annoying, but he's got X-Ray, so he's a lot of leniency in where he can freeze his Puyo.
Very nicely done. Oh yeah, that shovel check. Just some missiles on that.
I like getting the shovel early because you can get that check out of the way early. One of the worst things is if you're like in Pendant Turtle Rock, super late in the seed, you're looking for one dumb item, and you get a shovel and you don't really know whether you should leave or not.
I think Ataka or Ace might also be gonna do the fake powder as well. Yeah.
Okay, Hitaka is struggling a bit to skip that pirate. It's one thing you can try to do. Kill two pirates, get your space jumps to go around the third, but you have to be careful. Get around its wall hopping and its beams.
Ooh, Shack Tool holding the Tempered Sword for Maniacal.
Oh, that's
annoying. I didn't see
annoying.
where they got the second sword. Might have been in one of the sand pits or aqueduct or something.
Oh, if it's in a sand pit, that's funny.
Fake powder, just an E-tank, so Ace can now safely turn in his mushroom.
Okay, so Mama Turtle had a sword. That's where Tracy has her second.
Ace could have taken the little whirlpool to the potion shop. It looks like he might be doing the other flippers checks now instead.
Yeah, you never know. You might get a flute here to make the potion shot faster. So the sword at Shacktool is really awkward. Maniacal, having got it, is choosing to walk all the way out and keep the sword that way. I guess it's going to do the gate glitch here. This green gate glitch saves like 10 seconds. Eat it quickly. It's honestly, this is one of the lowest value gate glitches in the game, and it really sucks if you waste all your ammo on it.
Oh, the last one. I was gonna say, because if he abandons it, he's gonna want a super still. He is super no matter which way you go.
So where is he wanting a super for? Dragon store?
Dude, isn't there
Coliseum?
another gate? I don't know.
Well, he's already been through Sandpit, so he's already used the super to get into Aqueduct. So yeah, the only one he would need is in Coliseum. It's not too bad to get drops before then.
Mm.
But he'd certainly rather have this ammo right now. He might actually have to farm before bot turn if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So Tracy, the first one at Dragon, I believe.
Yeah. Gonna have to take her out with ammo. It does have speed, but the speed booster kill is a little bit tougher when you don't have high jump. I don't know if it's something she really goes for anyway, but ammo just as good.
Speed booster kill for Dragon is like, it's mainly people that have speedrun experience that are going to be comfortable with it. If you just play randomizers, there's like a lot less incentive to be well practiced at it. It's pretty particular how you have to do it.
Nadaka in the Ridley fight, waiting for the pogo nicely. Another fight I don't particularly like without high jump, but to get him in the pogo, high jump doesn't really matter that much. I don't think Zora area had anything great. So we are going to turn in that mushroom. Nice fight from Hataka. Gets a little tail lap at the end, but relatively unscathed. Ridley heard that he wanted power bombs, along with his 12 power bombs that he dropped. A bottle! And you're at the potion. Buy a potion! Okay, thank you.
But he's at 500. Oh, I assume he checked Zora already, though.
Yeah, he did. I think Zora was money as well. Well, no, it wasn't. I was gonna say I heard his rupees going off, but that was probably them going down and not up.
So that's the first bottle, I think.
There was one in Aqueduct, but it's Ace's first bottle. But
okay.
Maniacal and Tracy have one from Aqueduct, I believe.
So that's kind of interesting. Ace is going to see whether that bottle is good for Tracy or not. I guess now she's doing sandpits, and she didn't do them before. Or maybe she wants to leave.
I think she did one, at least. Or maybe she wants... Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did one sandpit.
Oh.
Ooh, ether.
Oh, that's interesting. We have Quake as the medallion for Misery Mire, so relatively unlikely Ethers needed, but could be the other medallion for Turtle Rock.
So I don't know on AceT side if one or any of them are going to end up checking Shaq at some point, but whichever one does, the other one's likely not going to get that sword. So I could see, like, if they do come across the flute at some point, Tracy actually turning in the mushroom to get that second bottle. I would do the same if I knew I was going to be stuck on Master Sword.
So Tracy had the option to go into Dark World from the Meridian Missile Station. I think she's choosing not to because she hasn't picked up the hammer yet.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
I think I would still do it even without the hammer in her situation, because maybe you spike a glove, maybe you can come back and get the hammer, and then you've got your Dark World access that way. There's a potential that she'll have to run back through Meridia again.
Yeah, it's just like she would have the like she couldn't go to Hype Cave without the hammer. Basically her option would be to like check Pyramid, and then
you can get to Hype Cave walking all the way around.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Like, if she hook shots across the river, her options are basically fire rodless Skullwoods and hammerless Thieves Town, which isn't great when you know the hammer is available.
Yeah, it isn't. It's just kind of thinking in terms of potentially moving the seed forward, getting some information out of it. Ace is faster at the two games in general, having more speedrun experience. So in cases like that, it'd be better for him to do the things that are going to make him have to double back for crystal progression.
Yeah, I think out of all these runners, A0 in both games is the most recently interested in the basic speedruns, any percent and NMG of each game. Everyone else is kind of in my camp, where any percent / NMG is not very fun.
Yeah, I don't think Hitaka really has any speedrun times at all. Maniacal, I think did NMG a long time ago for the 2018 tournament, and any percent. I suppose he does when it's required for multi-category. I guess he's got a decent time in that. I just know he doesn't like that category very much.
Yeah. Tracy, already sparking up the climb. Get your little G's in chat. No, I'm just kidding. She's not finished.
Okay, so Ace is in the. I didn't see Ace's like checkerboard checks and stuff. But...
Didn't do checkerboard because no glove.
Oh,
still.
No glove. That's right.
Yeah, so Hitaka and Maniacal not missing much from not being able to check Desert at that time. Michael is checking Plasma, but other than this, like, seems like the deep SM plays was not the way to go in this seed. There's still the entirety of the wreck ship that nobody has gone to yet. Ooh, there's the bow at Plasma. That's pretty big.
Oh wow, actually progression at Plasma.
Yeah.
So Maniacal is kind of short of options to kill these guys. I would spark directly into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to use the speed booster to kill these with this item set. Your options are speed booster for Shrine Sparks or Shrine Spark Echoes. Charge Beam will let you do pseudo screws, and of course Plasma screw attack if you have those.
Sending the guy who doesn't have Plasma to check Plasma feels bad. Like, the Shine Sparks, that short charge, it's good enough to have a 2-tap. It's pretty tight, though. And just the fact that he doesn't have high jump makes it a little awkward to get up there so that he's able to kill the other pirates. Tracy is going to make the wreck ship play, so I'm happy to see this. She's definitely comfy now with the gravity suit and plenty of E.
Okay, so Maniacal's got them all killed now. You can leave the room.
And there's that quake in the ocean. So that's access to Mire. Mire potentially clearable. Could still need a fire source. And of course, logically, you need the lamp to get to Vitreous.
I think Ace might be slightly unhappy here about that quake. But yeah, there might be issues getting some of the checks in Mire, so maybe it's fine to leave it for later. I really am thinking that something is going to be in Dark World behind requiring Dark World access via Meridia.
Yeah, Tracy does snag the flute at Spooky Missiles. So wreck ship play turning out pretty nice already. Kind of the big question for AceT at this moment is when they go back for Plasma Beam to get the bow. I think they kind of split it, kind of like how we do. Like, if I end up being the one going to Meridia, generally we decide that I'm not going to be checking Shack Tool Plasma just because it's slow, and I'm slow. So two slow people, or two slow things, does not add up to a good time. But yeah, so it sounds like Ace is gonna have to be covering those bases once he eventually goes to Meridia.
Yeah, well, with us, it's like if grapple is somewhere that's behind like 2 door transitions, and I don't want to pick it up, then make you do Shack Tool, even though it's behind probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 6 door transitions.
Michael, making the play that you've been hoping for, taking the whirlpool up here, likely going to hook shot across the river. Can't do catfish without a glove. Oh, he's gonna turn in his mushroom though, really quick.
Yeah, so the flute doesn't really do much of anything. Having no glove. It is nice for traveling around the Link to the Past map. But they've already pretty much done everything that's available in Light World. So it's really not going to be too helpful until they get some gloves or some mitts.
There is that Moldern play from Hataka, so Ace not losing time to Oumslaw here. They both ended up doing that check. I'm excited to see what else the wreck ship has in store here. Pretty comfy wreck ship with space jump, plasma beam and all of that, and can also access the wreck ship reserve item with that speed booster, so no worries about orphaning something here.
I don't think there's going to be anything here.
I think there is. I think there's going to be 2 more things in this area.
2 more things.
2 more things.
Well, you know, if there are any teams out there that are known for skipping wreck ship, then getting an item from the top of wreck ship here would be a very good thing.
There's some supers at the graveyard ledge. So we are still looking for the 2 gloves and a fire rod and potentially bombos, along with enough ammo or charge beam for Super Metroid. Tracy just going right in to Spike Rainbow Death with it, which I like because she has both suits and space jump, so not terribly dangerous anymore. Could still make a mistake and fall, but has 5 E-tanks, so should be okay. Gonna just grab the item and save the time of saving.
Honestly, I feel like she's playing Spiky Room of Death as if she doesn't have gravity and space jump, which is I don't know. You can kind of tank hits going through that room with this equipment. It's fine.
Yeah, a lot of people do that room by deboosting out the spikes in the top, and it just always scares me. That's another bottle for Tracy. I would be happy about that bottle. I'd consider keeping it if I had saved. She doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah, I do like not saving for an equipment set like this.
Yeah, it is also marginally possible that Pegasus boots are required, but very unlikely. Oh, Ace. Luckily, Ace has a lot of E-tanks. Not sure, does he have 20 max supers?
Yes.
35 missiles? That's... Why did he come in here? And then, yeah, okay, he's gonna have to use power bombs, but
I don't think Ridley kind of doesn't look red enough for
Yeah.
I didn't see how many he went into the room with. Maybe he just kind of forgot, slipped his mind. I didn't see if he did any farming.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either.
I might be wrong, but this does not look like a red enough Ridley to take enough damage from the remaining amount of power bombs.
Hmm. It's kind of hard to tell just because people have different screens and different way the colors show up on their screens. But yeah, I agree, and I really dislike using power bombs at the end of the Ridley fight. It's a lot easier when you have a calm Ridley as opposed to an angry Ridley. He seems to think he's done.
Ridley's not moving nearly fast enough.
Yeah.
Like he is not. His health is not low enough. Like it's not low enough to the point where he's gonna get this done. This amount of PBs.
Is this kind of the pattern you want Ridley in at the start of the fight when you're doing power bombs? But yeah, he's much more aggressive now. Then he tries to run away from your power bomb when you lay it. He's definitely nowhere near dead. Ace is gonna bail. I hope he's saved. Meanwhile, Maniacal finds the cape.
Yeah, okay, that's a save.
Cape, though, is not required because we saw Bumper and it was just a missile.
Oh, so it looks like he is going to bail. That's not a great position for their team to be in.
No, it's really not. Yeah, his super count is just so bad. And even so, I think he's just coming here maybe to check if he can snag another super. That would help him out immensely, but like even so, he has to do a lot of farming again.
Tree's got plasma. I would actually. So you've got plasma and X, right? I would actually consider farming metal pirates with that.
Mm.
Oh, hey, there's a glove of gravity. Okay.
Okay, one item. I was close.
I really thought that the play was going to be going Dark World, but it seems like that's just completely not necessary. So, somewhat of a good break for their team after that, but I think Tracy is going to assume that their opponents had gone wreck ship as well.
Yeah, I would make that assumption too, especially in co-op. Wreck ship's been available for literally ever. Wreck ship is basically always available in hard mode when you have more power bombs and supers, so.
So Maniacal isn't losing terrible amounts of time. He's still able to full clear Thieves Town. He's gonna do the walk around the world and get height cave and such like you normally would. So Hitaka's getting close to Dragon though. So it'll be interesting what Hitaka decides to do after this. Because I think Maniacal's kind of information gathering route, he hasn't hit anything yet that tells that team that the Meridian Dark World play is required. So I don't know what kind of decision Hitaka is going to make as to. Oh, actually, he's got some time he can buy because Hitaka knows he has to get the bow at Plasma.
Yeah, Michael had to take the little way around in Thieves Town because he doesn't have a glove, which is very easy to forget when you come here. Interesting. So Tracy is activating her flute. She didn't check back of escape. They don't necessarily know that it's just map and key and then just one item. but it's usually the first thing you check when you get a glove. But sometimes when that glove is really late, you kind of put it off.
Yeah, it's weird in SMZ3 as well. Oftentimes your glove is going to be in Metroid, and like normally in A Link to the Past Rando Seed, you get a glove, and one of the next things you're going to do is check back of escape, because it's really easy check. But that's because you're actually in in Zelda the whole time, and pretty much at any point, you're going to be able to drop what you're doing in a decent amount of time and save and quit to the sanctuary. But when your gloves in Metroid, you can't do that, and then you get all these weird routes. Like you end up in Mire, but you don't want to save and quit from there because you want to keep your position at the Lord Orphan portal. So yeah, it could be a while. The glove being in Wreck Ship is like one of the less bad places in SM to find it. So it's like you're close to getting back to Zelda anyways.
Yeah. Michael does take down Thieves Town, only holding the cape in there, which is not required, marginally useful. He does actually have the option to take this all the way around to Pod and get the second red crystal. No light source, so Pod will not be very fun, but it's a possibility.
I think that, yeah, I think it's hard for Maniacal to step away from this commitment, not seeing the other glove. So but hasn't found anything that's super compelling. Oh, I'm just gonna route in the shovel check here as well. Okay, so Tracy putting the flute to use in Link to the Past.
Can I get her half magic? Can I get a magic refill?
Oh yeah, that's what she's going here for.
She'll be really nice.
But yeah, so she has conventional Dark World access. So she'll be able to get to dense places like Hype Cave really quickly, which is where Maniacal has finally gotten to after his trip around the world. It'd be kind of funny if there was another glove in Hype Cave or in Pod. It would make Maniacal feel kind of vindicated for coming here and think that this path is required. But still finding nothing so far. So yeah, I'm really curious where Hitaka goes. They could totally just like them converging on Pod wouldn't be that terrible at this point. Hitaka is gonna know from Maniacal that the rest of Dark World on this path doesn't really have anything, but they both do need to complete Pod as a crystal. So them doing it at the same time, they'll be a little staggered. So Maniacal will be able to read the key layout for him. So I actually think it's not too bad.
Hitaka is walking. What's Hitaka gonna do? Tell me. You should know.
What do you mean?
Oh, is he going to Pod too?
I don't see a better option for him.
The wreck ship is so much better, but
well, like Wreck Ship is abandoning his position here is the point. Like,
yeah,
they have to run through Meridia again. They still don't know for sure that this isn't required. So, actually, what is Hitaka doing?
He can see the pyramid. I don't think Maniacal saw what's on the pyramid yet.
I'm not sure where he's going because Hype Cave I don't think had anything that good. Maybe it had a mail upgrade. No, I don't think so. I think I would have noticed that. What is he going here for?
Michael gonna clear Eastern first, which I
Hitaka?
like.
Hitaka, what are you doing?
It's going to the light world, duh.
And now he's going to swamp with no mirror.
Nice. Does he have the mirror? Where was the mirror? Paradox. No, he doesn't.
Oh, he does have it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Blame Leno.
Okay. I know, so if okay, so they do get to do 2 different dungeons in the
Okay,
Dark
yeah,
World.
this is good. Yeah, it's like, that was the mirror. Swamp's gonna be a little hard to do, but this is good. Swamp, pretty long dungeon to full clear, especially without the boots, but doable. Pretty good chance there's a glove in here. There's a glove in Swamp pretty often.
Yeah, it's usually the second glove, but you know. they're interchangeable somewhat sometimes.
Yeah, I wonder if Maniacal was thinking about it, but I kind of would have liked Maniacal doing Swamp and maybe Hitaka doing Pod. A lot to see Hitaka's Argus fight, but for some people, it can be a lot longer of a fight with Master Sword versus Tempered, whereas Armos and Helmasaur are not really a big deal either way.
Yeah, so Hitaka and Maniacal doing the Dark World dungeons that are like further out of each other's way, I think is them not coming up with the game plan in time, which happens sometimes if you're getting into weird situations that you don't expect.
Mm-hmm. Link could be here in Swamp as well. But I know Hitaka is not afraid of dark rooms. Tracy coming into Thieves Town. I think she might be considering bailing on Thieves Town just by having only green mail and 7 hearts, but I think when she gets the cape, she'll stay.
Yeah, Cape and Half Magic is very safe for blind. I mean, you really barely have to use any magic at all because you can conserve it by holding the wall. It doesn't drain while your Cape magic does not drain while you're busy doing something.
Yeah. She's certainly capable of doing this blind fight without the cape, but...
I get it. Capable.
It's kind of like one of those things when, like, you know you're in a tight spot, you end up, like, doing worse because of it, because it's on your mind. Whereas if she was in here with red mail and 13 hearts, she wouldn't think anything of it.
So Hitaka found Babos in Swamp.
That's good.
Which isn't going to do anything before the mitts.
Yeah.
It's either going to help for Ice Palace or Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and Ace or Tracy will surely run into the Bombos as well, and that would mean that they know where all 3 are, so don't have to worry about missing a medallion for Turtle Rock. Ace might actually be going there sooner rather than later.
So I think Maniacal did Eastern first, hoping to get something a bit nicer for Pod. I didn't see if they... so Ace was the one that dipped Eastern right away, I think. I don't think Oumslaw did that.
No,
so
they did not.
He wanted the item information from it as well.
Left side swap holds the powder.
Okay.
Which...
honestly, that would be a lot more interesting if the fake powder wasn't so viable.
Yeah.
I think Ace did it, but I'm not sure if Oumslaw has done fake powder.
Yeah, I think it was just Ace who's done it. So we know that's... I think it was an E-Tank on Magic Bat. Powder is nice to have, though. I like it particularly in Turtle Rock and at the end of the GT climb. Almost tablet, just couch cash. Have we seen the Ether tablet? All book checks are dead, says Leno. Thank you, Leno.
Yeah, at this rate, I would actually not be surprised if they didn't find anything on this path that could be potentially useful. Uh, I was really thinking it would, but yeah, it looks like on this path they're just going to find absolutely nothing that will tell them they needed to do this via Meridia.
There's that big key, so Taka's gonna go back up the stairs and back down the stairs and back up the stairs again.
Yeah, he doesn't have the boots to dash into the stairway to fix this. I don't know why that happens really, but there's a couple specific staircases that happens on.
Tracy about to enter blind as Michael takes on the bullocked side of Pod. Taka's just got 2 more checks in Swamp. I think one of them is a compass, but I'm not sure. Tracy actually has the blue cane, so either way she would have been fine.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was by hydrant boots, I think. Doesn't take any damage. Gets a missile. Happy missile. What was that mail upgrade? I know Maniacal has red mail.
I have no idea. So AceT is going to kind of catch up on this Dark World clearing that Hitaka and Maniacal have been doing. But Hitaka and Maniacal at some point have to go back to the wreck ship to get that glove.
I don't know what bomb jump Maniacal's doing. I've never seen this in my life.
That bomb jump was in like a very, very old NMG pod route. It was used in like 2011 and it saved like 1 second. Actually, I think people stopped doing it when hammer jump was found, because when hammer jump was found, you started taking extra damage, and that caused the 3 heart pots on the way to Helmelsorg to not refill you. So this bomb jump used to save 1 second, but the fact that doing that bomb jump plus doing hammer jump meant that you couldn't get sword beams. There was something like that. That was the consideration for not saving time anymore.
It's a swamp. Other than Bombos, which might be required, and that powder, which we know is not required, completely empty. So what is next? Taka going to check the Bombos tablet. Thieves Town has not yielded a lamp or a fire rod yet, so Michael's gonna have to go to the dark maze. Taka might check desert now. No, not going to. No boots, no glove, no light source. Makes sense.
I think he's still in a position where he'd be too worried to do. Oh no, he is. So he's gonna mirror in a safe spot where he can walk back to it. Because he still doesn't know if Pod has something that he needs to stay in Dark World for.
Tracy will be upset that that powder, which is her favorite safety item in A Link to the Past, is in her least favorite place to check in A Link to the Past, left side swamp.
Oh, that is true, isn't it?
Poor Tracy. I know the feeling. Your partner gets all the good stuff.
Yeah, speaking of favorite and least favorites with regards to items, Maniacal found the spring ball in the Pod Dark Maze.
Neat.
it doesn't do anything with the suits and the movement items we have, but I thought it was funny.
That is funny. Okay. Yeah, Taka gotta find the not much in desert. Green pendant check. Still at large, but with no fire source, nobody can check that yet.
Wait, I thought the green pendant was at desert.
Bob. What else is available to us at this point? Mire? Is there progression in Mire?
Oh god.
I think it is.
That's gross.
No, yeah, Skullwoods too. Nobody.
Did
Oh,
really
yeah.
nobody do Skullwoods?
Yeah.
I'm surprised Maniacal didn't peek it.
Oh, Tracy found the blue mail. I know the other mail was somewhere in Super Metroid, but cannot recall where. Yeah. Mire is a play that anyone who's already done Lower North Fair did not take advantage of. I don't think. Yeah, so Oumslaw doesn't even have Quake at all and doesn't know where it is. Tracy could do Mire once she is ready to go to Lower North Fair.
I feel like Hitaka should probably abandon this portal as soon as Maniacal doesn't find anything on Helmasaur. Actually, it's just the compass on Helma. So I believe. So yeah, I think at this point, well, there's still Skullwoods. I kind of have trouble thinking they're gonna walk all the way back there, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised no one checked the front of Skullwoods. With no easy access back to the village. Tracy has good access back to the village. But no one else does really. I think it would be kind of smart for Tracy to do Swamp pretty soon, get that screw attack out of the big chest, and then do Lower North Fair and Mire.
Yeah, I guess that screw attack does sort of do things.
I think it would speed her up. There are some runners that it might not do much for.
Oh yeah, because Ace had to abandon Ridley, so Lower North Fair is kind of a vulnerability for that team right now. It'd be good for her to clean it up.
Yeah, I guess speaking of that, Ace could just go since he's already got the screw attack. He probably has another super by now. Another super missile. Hopefully.
I like Ace attempting to use Ice Rod on Argus Phase 2. I really like it for Phase 2, and you don't have a good sword, but not really able to chain lightning shots with his timing.
Tracy gets her hobo heart. And Nataka finally going to the wreck ship. So they will be sniffing out the glove here pretty soon.
Oh, Maniacal's doing Pyramid Fairy because it was Thieves Town and Odd.
Yeah, Mitz could be back here. Fire Rod could be. We still don't know the location of the lamp though, so whatever's here is locked behind the lamp.
So Hitaka finding that flute and wreck ship. The flute would not have helped them with anything that they were doing though, so it's probably not a bad feeling to find that. And whatever's in Pyramid Fairy is behind the lamp, and we still don't know where that is. Could be in Mire. Could want you to dip Mire without light source to
dip Mire without fire for your fire in Mire.
That rhyme me that.
Just arrows on the pyramid itself. Tracy gonna dip pot as well. 50 rupees and gold sword. Half vanilla pyramid fairy. So which sword is better to get for your tempered sword, Bup? Pyramid sword or Shack Tool sword?
Pyramid Fairy.
That's really kind of unlucky that Maniacal is someone who checked both of those really bad long checks, and now has Gold Sword because of it, while his partner is going to have Master Sword.
Oh, so like, they're going to get Glove and Flute, and once Hitaka has all that, he's going to be in a really good position to just clear those 2 dungeons for the red crystals. Whenever, whenever a good opportunity arises to do so. So it'll be kind of okay. The thing is that he would have to choose to do that at the expense of finding new information. So maybe Maniacal does some more scouting for a while. Maniacal is ahead in dungeons anyways. But Taka is actually ahead in bosses now, has all 4 SM bosses. So
yeah,
the balancing on the teams is pretty interesting.
it really is. I think for the most part, at least in the beginning, you could kind of tell, like, Tracy and Ace. I think Tracy more comfy in SM and Ace more comfy in A Link to the Past, and they kind of did those things. And Maniacal and Hitaka kind of flip-flopped. I felt like Maniacal has spent a lot more time in A Link to the Past, and Hitaka spending a lot of time in SM. When I'd say they're more comfy games, they're the opposite. I think Maniacal's pretty either or, though.
I
doing
feel
a
like
lot
they're
of Link to the Past.
I feel like they're both kind of either or. Like Hitaka doesn't do standalone SM randomizer, but I think a lot of that is because the playstyles in it are kind of more limited, and it's not necessarily because of like the mechanics of the game itself.
Yeah. I wouldn't say any of these guys have like a significant preference, really. That's gonna matter too much. Taka is going in full speed to the spiky death room.
I just think that like for Hitaka and Maniacal, they really like have similar enough polarities with both games, or non-polarities, I guess. It like doesn't make a massive difference who's doing what in what game, but Ace and Tracy would definitely have preferences if they could decide what to do. Sometimes the seed doesn't really let you. Sometimes the seed railroads one player into a part of the game they're not as comfortable with.
Yeah. Well, I think Maniacal would have had to have gotten 1 item in the front. He's missing the map and the big key. So 1 item is either on Moth or in the big chest. Ace gonna go to Shektil and get that sword.
1 milk is on Moth.
Tracy, if she does choose a complete pod, she could get the Pyramid Fairy and she'll have that sword for her tempered, so that'll even out pretty well.
Yeah, she's definitely in a position where she's definitely going to want to check Pyramid Fairy. So hopefully she can manage to make it through the pod dark rooms. I think she's had like enough ladder races where she ended up doing this. Ace gets the ceiling clip to Shack Tool, so yeah, they're actually both going to be happening on the dumb sword locations at decently similar times, assuming Tracy does finish pod.
Yeah, it's nice in the turtle room to at least have Ether or Bombos. Once you flop the turtles over with the hammer, you can use Ether or Bombos to kill them.
Quake turns them into slimes when they're flipped, so it's better than nothing for that as well.
Yeah, Ether casting is quite a bit faster than Bombos casting, but if you need the visual indication of how many turtles you've killed, then you can use Bombos, because you'll see them fire
I'm
away.
really not a fan of Ace going to the peak window to check
Ace's
Tool's
peeking.
item. I like it's okay. It's really not that much faster than just going to the item, and if it's something you want, you don't have bombs or spring ball. It's kind of a bad situation to get out of. It's not make or break, but it's like you had to lay like 4 or 5 power bombs there, and it took a while.
Yeah, right as Tracy found Spring Ball. But she is abandoning Pod. Though.
Yeah. Okay, I thought there was a possibility she'd do that, but I thought maybe she would. I don't know. I guess in co-op it's like, in co-op you really don't want to waste time where you could be getting information. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad decision at all. The only thing I fear is that she's gonna end up in a situation where both swords that she knows about are in bad spots. But I think it'd be worth it to get the Pyramid Fairy Sword either way.
Oh, Tony mentioned they don't have the bow, so she can't finish the dungeon.
Oh yeah, duh.
And Ace is about to find it. So I didn't catch that. That might feel bad for her.
Yeah. Well, now she wants to take the Croc Speedway. Alright, Michael following Hataka so that he can also have a glove. Croc? I don't believe had anything. Oh, I think there was the other male. I think the other male was here at Croc.
Wait, where would Hitaka found mitts in Rex ship? Confused. I thought there was only one glove in Rex ship.
Where was the second one?
There was one at Attic?
Did Tracy skip the Attic? Oh no.
Oh.
That's... Who went to Rex ship first, Tracy or Ace?
Yeah, Tracy went to it first.
Oh no. I did this to Hataka once in a multi-world. I left his glove there. At this missile.
That's really bad, because like because Ace I think would have gone to Ace would have cleaned it up if Tracy had realized she'd forgotten it and told him about it. But if you don't think that you forgot anything, you aren't going to tell your partner. You're just going to be like, yep, nothing was there, and they're going to trust that nothing was there more than you will.
Right. And let's all remember that I called it, that there were 2 more items in the wreck ship that were important.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have mitts, right? I think they play completely differently if they had mitts. So yeah, it's completely abandoned for AceT. And that's really sad, because I know, like, I think overall, Oumslaw is the stronger team anyway. Tracy and Ace have beaten Oumslaw at least once, in at least one qualifier they did. And that's because Oumslaw, I think, made a big mistake akin to this. And that's kind of what at least Tracy was saying. She thought they kind of needed to take the win here, was for Oumslaw to kind of make a big mistake like that. So it's really sad to see that it's AceT making that kind of mistake.
Well, we can ask in the interview what Oumslaw tastes like if they've eaten it before. Oh, Boots and Hookshot Cave. Yeah, so like I was under the impression the whole time that it was the only glove in Red Ship at the very end. And so I was talking about how that flute wasn't really useful at all. Turns out it was immediately useful as soon as you got out of the wreck ship, but if you just got both the gloves.
Wow, this is... Well, that's rough. And there's really nothing else out there that... Like...
This is not a check I would figure out ever.
No.
I would stare at the map for like 20 minutes and then forfeit.
Yeah. Like, they're gonna So they're definitely gonna end up having to go to Meyer at some point. One of them will probably do Lower Norfair relatively soon. And then all that's gonna be left is Meyer without a light source.
Is this the first spiked cave check? I think it might be, because yeah, so Ace and Tracy are probably thinking that Mitz is just somewhere very strange. And Spike Cave is a check that's pretty hard to route in without the Mitz. You have to kind of decide to do it on its own. I was actually surprised Hitaka didn't do it after Hookshot Cave, but maybe he doesn't have high jump. Actually, did we see anyone peek at the TR medallion? Okay, so yeah, Hitaka peeked at TR medallion. It looks like it was Bombos according to the trackers. Ace and Tracy are not going to be able to have knowledge of that until they get the mitts. But it doesn't really matter too much at this point, with all of the medallions being available.
I think my uncle should dip it. Oh, he can't.
He doesn't hit Bombos.
Well,
it was
Hitaka, why didn't you dip it?
It was in Swamp. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that dip for the first Turtle Rock chest. It's like easy to pass up sometimes, but also it can be very quick if it locks you out right away. I don't know. Probably wasn't thinking about it. Like, yeah, if I'm in Hitaka's position, I would definitely dip it if I was thinking about it, because I don't know how conscious he is of the fact that Maniacal can't do it. It's hard to keep all the information straight. I could just look at the tracker and see that Maniacal doesn't have it, and I'll remember it was because it was in Swamp. But if I were playing, I probably wouldn't remember that my partner doesn't necessarily have it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a play that you don't really think about too much, especially solo. I think in co-op, it's like whatever. I'll just go ahead and dip this. But there are better things to do than spend your time possibly going all the way to Laser Bridge and TR, like Ice Palace.
So what are we actually still looking for? I think it might just be Fire Rod.
It does need to be the Fire Rod. The lamp will not cut it today.
Did Hitaka just check first chest of ice? I didn't see how far he went in.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't see. So, like, I wasn't sure if it was like first check of ice, or if it was like he went to ice thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna do Ice Palace," and then here's the music and remembers it's a pendant.
Oh, it is a pendant.
Yeah. So I
mean,
wasn't paying attention.
He was there. There's nothing in Pod, which he already knows. I mean,
did they know? Oh yeah, they know Pyramid Fairy. Yeah. So I guess yeah, you can get the sword here. Getting the info faster though, something I really like.
Yeah, because Hisoka's not behind. Oh, he's getting half magic.
Oh,
but
well,
it doesn't really help you if you don't have Fire Rod. You don't need half magic.
Yeah, it doesn't really help. Oh, it's a good refill. He's got, so with like half, not to be confusing, but he had half of his magic bar left. And that's good for like 2 Bombos casts, which I mean, I guess that's all you need, but then there's like the icebreaker, magic consumption.
Yeah.
I know he's next to pod, so he's just gonna do that now. But
Yeah, I don't know.
actually,
And now he doesn't have
Maniacal's in a better position to do it. So, but
He is, but Taco's there.
well, he's not there anymore. They both have the flute.
Now he's here, playing with the monkey. Yeah, so Pete's back at the VOD, and Tracy, yeah, she just left out the left door after killing all the enemies in attic.
I'm pretty sure I've done that before. That's kind of like SM major minor mode or bingo mode, honestly. Like I know she hasn't since SM Rando League's not in season anymore. I know she hasn't really played SM seeds by themselves recently, but I think maybe watching all the bingo matches that are going on, you do often see people just leave out the left door. And hammer pegs at fire rod, which is definitely the correct order of words in that sentence.
Hammer pegs at fire rod. Well, let's go look for Oumslaw. Tracy is actually picking up the Shektul sword. I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, yeah, because I don't know. They might be thinking of what to do. Tracy also was not able to continue to pod Crystal for the payment phase, so doesn't know that sword is there. And I think for whatever she wants to do next, she really would rather have a tempered sword. So
yeah, she does need to get the bow too. She already did, I guess. So I guess she was here, but
yeah, and it's like, yeah, okay, I kind of understand because it's like you're right here, you're not going to be closer to it later.
The only thing is, Ace is covering footsteps, so they're not getting any new information right now, and they're 2 items out of go mode.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a situation in which I would try to not be doing unnecessary things. Honestly, I'm really sad that they made the mistake because I actually really had no idea how the race was playing out. Aside from that, I didn't know who was ahead, so it would have been really interesting to see how it played out.
Yeah, there was pretty neck and neck, pretty comparable at that point. Yeah, and Meyer, big key right there on the bridge. Michael, and attempt to hover.
I'm a fan of trying this ever once.
I bet the lamp is a nice palace. Cry. Gets a missile for good measure. Down to 3 hearts. Needs to be a little careful in this dungeon.
Who has the powder?
Ataka and Ace.
Okay, yeah, there's the people who've done swamp. Okay, so he's not got that safety net. I guess he has a blue, I guess, that he bought. Tracy going to get I guess the bottle here? Was this the bottle? On a mushroom?
Yes, it was.
This is kind of a funny place to get a bottle. Okay, so where is Hitaka going to go next after finishing pod? Eastern. Okay, that was a dumb question. I was just thinking out loud. Other question is, what checks do Ace and Tracy still have available to them? I guess Ace is going back for Lower Norfair now. Round 2. Maniacal using the cape on Vitreous. Using those slashes to delay the magic consumption. Yeah, okay, so he's got access to Meyer as well.
So, perhaps you already mentioned this while I stepped away, but this is a winner's bracket round 2 match, so the loser of this is not out of the tournament yet. They will go on to play X grams of Shroom, which is Crocodile and Beef Robber. So this loss won't get anyone out of the tournament yet, so that's at least good. But it's just really sad. Just either way.
Yeah, that's the exact thing I just said.
Sorry.
Not really. So Ace is going for Lower Norfair round 2. I didn't see where Charge Beam was. Charge Beam, actually, I was not thinking about very much. Pretty big concern, I think, with the low ammo so far. It was somewhere, I didn't see where it was. But Hitaka has it.
If Hitaka has it, then it must be somewhere.
Leno was saying, or Leno was asking if it was in pod. So
I didn't know there are silvers there. That could escape. So,
yeah,
so that one
Hitaka's
item
the
is
last
important.
person to find them. So,
oh, I didn't see AceT found them.
Everyone else found them. But I think, yeah, found the bow later, so the menu does that dumb thing where it, like, resets your arrows to normal. Which actually... Yeah, so...
Yeah, Maniacal needs the march, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Hitaka and Maniacal got their wreck ship gloves really late. Yeah, I think Maniacal will grab that, because that's a really quick place to get silvers from. Hitaka's gonna have to decide where he wants to get a sword from, if he wants to get a sword.
Yeah, it'll depend on how far ahead Maniacal ends up, if at all. He still needs to do Ridley, so he might not technically be ahead anyway. Poor Hitaka, still even on green mail too, so green mail Master Sword. Maniacal has gold sword and red mail. And there's Ace, like I suspected, checking out Meyer.
It's just down to here and Ridley. So I think they're going to find nothing in Mire, and for a little while they're going to be kicking themselves thinking that Mitts were behind Ridley, and if Ace just hadn't run out of ammo in the fight, it would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're going to find out that's not the case. It's always kind of rude when you think you're last locationing something at a certain spot, and you're so sure that something has to be here, and you've got all these regrets piling up. And then you get to that location, and there's nothing there. So you missed something else. And it's not what you're expecting at all.
Ace didn't open that one chest. Is it the map chest? Does he have a reason to think that it's not an item?
I'm not sure it's... Are you talking about the map chest?
I think the one that you have to have the pigs down that's by the big chest.
Yeah.
It didn't look open to me.
I guess
he got
both
both items.
items.
Okay, so
That
he's
makes
just
sense.
clearing it. Forgot this is a crystal. I have to do anyway. This dark room, I don't like too much. Oh, he's already past it, so never mind. The strat's pretty simple in that first dark room where you have to push the button with the block being against the left side wall after you've picked the pot up, and carrying a block about a tile over to the right and throwing it. Ace is a lampless pro.
I think I actually hate the third room the most. The Mire Dark Basement. If you don't have an invincibility item, you're probably just taking 2 hits from that spike moving side to side that you have to get past. And then it's kind of easy to fall in the pit up north too and waste a lot of time if you're trying to hit the switch.
Nice comfy vitreous fight with those silver arrows. Well done. Tracy gonna clear out the bow side of pod. She didn't have a potion when she first came here, so wasn't able to do the potion camera unlock. So, one bad thing about SMZ3 is the bottles always come empty. There's no free potions. Thanks, Leno. Leno is taking credit for that bad idea, making the bottles empty in SMZ3. Yeah, we want bees. Lamp! There's Lamp! A checkerboard.
Oh wow.
Tracy also probably mad about that too.
That would be... What did Maniacal do? Lord Warfare. Oh yeah, because everyone did that earlier, and then...
Oumslaw didn't have gloves when they were in this area.
And then if you've already done Mire area, and you get the flute and mitts after, then you don't have a great reason to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird to, like, have it be there, and have it show up so late anyways. Or have people be getting it so late.
Yeah. It is a... and that... Lamp actually opens up one thing for them that could quote-unquote have their mitts, and that's green pendant landmo.
Oh, you know, that's actually crazy, and that's also really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They're just getting a trail of little tiny things to do now.
I mean, with the particular item issue they're going to have, it's not really going to matter.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was a race where they could come back, then this would be kind of something kicking them down, giving them extra useless stuff to do.
Yep. There's not really anything that could be on that green pendant that would be nice to have anymore. High jump boots, maybe.
Yeah, so Maniacal going to be the first one into Turtle Rock, has all of the other 6 crystals. Hitaka's got all the SM bosses and 4 crystals. Is about to get his 5th.
I'm a little curious to see what the Turtle Rock layout looked like anyway, how far they could have gotten. This is the big key, so...
Not very far.
Yeah. If they didn't have the fire rod, they'd be stopped here. So it wouldn't have been a terrible thing if one of them had dipped it earlier.
Yeah, so... Yeah, with that lamp showing up, actually, I was saying before that Ace is going to be like 100% convinced that Mitz had to be at Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, whatever else led to them. But with that lamp showing up and things like Lambo being put on the table, did we see both items in here or no? I forget.
Oh no, we didn't. Hera Basement. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
they're going to take longer to realize that they missed something, which sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like at this point, if nothing's at Ridley, which nothing is, they're just gonna think, wow, this is a really bad seed with, you know.
Actually, I feel kind of good about getting that lamp if I were Ace, because then it's like, oh, we're saved. It doesn't have to be at Ridley anymore, so my screw up might not have mattered.
Yeah, you kind of have hope that like you're not. Well, there's those high jump boots into a rock. You have hope that you didn't mess up completely. You know, you think that this is what the seed is doing, and it's just a bad seed, stringing you along to Hera Basement or to Landmo Green Pendant for your mids, but it's not the case.
Yeah, if it is a really bad seed, you have some potential ways back into it to make up for mistakes, but it's not. The seed actually, like, it really wasn't bad at all. Like, there was potential for it to be maybe trolly with us not knowing where the Mets were, but them actually just being both in our ship. If you got them properly, then it was just like really easy to find everything.
Yeah. And even so, Ace definitely is gonna want to find the charge beam. I don't know if we decided where that actually was yet. Tracy had like 65-45, so she's pretty close to good enough ammo, but Ace definitely not.
Yeah, I still have no idea where that was. I don't know if anyone knows where it was at this point.
Did we see the boots checks? Was it behind the boots check, maybe? Kingston or Bonkrox?
Possibly.
Oh no, Dark Turtle Rock. I don't like this room. Tracy gonna go ahead and finish Meyer as well. It somewhat surprises me that they were able to get both items out of Meyer without a fire source, and the big key too. So that'd be map compass left side, I guess.
That's true. That was basically the opposite of Armire. We were able to get 0 items.
Right, Hitaka's 6 crystal. That guy just has a lot to do. Ace gonna take the reverse acid dive. Probably to check land mode now.
Oh yeah, I guess this would be the fastest way there. I don't remember which of them found the book.
Yeah. Book was really early, and it's interesting when, like, it doesn't end up leading to anything and it's that early. It seems like...
I think Tracy might be the one with the book.
Hmm. That's probably faster even if Ace does have a book, because you have to get to the portal anyway to be able to get to A Link to the Past.
Yeah, you're right. It's faster regardless.
Well, yeah, get your guesses in chat for the big key. Michael is going in. Even though he still has to do Ridley, but he can save that for after Ganon. Yep, Ace into the back of Desert Palace with his lamp. I always guess too. I like the key hope room. Key big key.
I don't think there's any majors left. This could be anything interesting.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Spazer? Have we found Spazer?
I can't remember. I can't remember if I kept seeing a space there in their menus or not.
Heart container on the torch. So boots not hard required, but very nice to have. Accepted boots.
Boots are heart required though. Okay, well, Spazer is in Ganon's tower, so
Aww.
we did not have it yet.
The spicy green pendant. Gonna go with a super pack. That'll make Ace's day, I'm sure. Yep, going to the Dark World so he can finish Pod and Eastern at the same time as turning this in. Good routing.
Yeah, it makes sense from their point of view, because from their point of view, if he turns this in and it's nothing, they're going to think it's air basement for sure. And then Tracy will just go there as soon as she can while Ace finishes Pod.
That's a heart piece. So now what do they have to be thinking? Like, I think now is the point they know they missed something.
No, like I said, they've got hair basement left.
Do they remember that?
I would if I was thinking very specifically about the lamp being the last thing he got.
There's that big key. I wasn't counting, but I'm sure someone was.
So Maniacal going up the climb with 8 hearts has got red mail, which makes 8 hearts not too bad. But with mail upgrades not reducing trap damage, there's still some danger situations with low heart count, no matter what mail you have.
Yeah, the spikes and the fireballs will still do a harder damage no matter what. The Igors too, because they're rude.
The Igors are a weird one to have fixed damage.
Tracy, it looks like she has 80-45 now. That might be enough, I think. For Turian. Not comfy, but enough. Math is hard. You want the equivalent of 40 missiles, 60 supers. So whatever that comes out to when you've got more missiles than supers. Not quite enough.
It looks like a 90 to me. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Yeah, I can't 100% tell either.
Oh, maybe it is an 80.
I just know relatively soon she had.
It might be 0.
She had 65. 0.
Hataka taking out Tridex with the Master Sword. Pretty weak sword for that fight. So I guess he's made the decision to not get either of the swords.
Yeah. I think it's a fine decision. Hataka's pretty good at the Ganon fight, regardless, and I think he's pretty even with Maniacal here.
Oh, wait, I just realized Ace and Tracy never did Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah.
And it's only logically now available because the lamp showed up.
Oof.
So Ace is gonna get a gold sword. So that's one of the locations that they're thinking of is on the table right now. And then afterwards, is gonna be hair basement play, I think.
Might go down to just 2.5 hearts. He does not have the powder. So he's beat. Oh, he's got a potion, so he's okay if he gets in a pinch.
I forgot about that. He had that from earlier too. Actually not sure what they're looking for in the chests, to be honest. I guess more hearts would be good for him.
Yeah, that could be so. He's not. Michael's probably a little bit ahead of Hataka. Like, I think if they both had gold sword, they'd be pretty even. Because Maniacal still has to kill Ridley before doing Mother Brain, and he's probably like 3 or 4 minutes ahead of Hataka in Ganon's tower.
Oh, and he doesn't have charge either. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I'm not sure what his ammo's looking like.
He's got 706 and 14. Yeah, so that's definitely enough. That's a lot of missiles.
29. 29 powerful. So do we ever see Grapple Beam? That's one thing we're missing, I think.
I don't think so. Oh, actually, yeah, it was at Cathedral.
Flop.
Wasn't me.
Alright. I get 2 down for Maniacal. On 1.25 hearts. Gonna take on Ganon. This is the closest portal, but this is the closest Tracy will be to Hera Basement for a while. Not doing it. It makes sense because she's a little behind Ace in crystal count, so he can just do it once they get to that point.
Yeah, and the Pyramid Fairy itself is like literally behind crystals, so they're gonna want to rule that out for sure before committing time to anything else.
Actually, did anyone ever end up doing Catfish? I know Oumslaw didn't because they didn't have gloves. And I don't remember AceT ever going to Catfish.
I don't know. I can't say for sure. I didn't think about that.
One of our special trackers thinks that it was checked. Yeah. So it was. I don't know if it was AceT who checked it, but I think it probably would have been. That is a getting down for Maniacal. Give him a little G.
At least Ataka's got all the extra hearts to back up the less powerful sword.
Yeah,
oh, time for boots
shield.
checks.
Yeah, I think this is where charge was.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right. That makes sense.
Very smart to pick up that charge beam before Ridley. Especially when you don't know what your ammo count is. Michael probably knows. I don't know though. Landmo 2, being a jerk to Hitaka. Down to 1 arrow. Luckily there's an arrow pot in here.
And he's not picking it up.
But he doesn't pick up. Because who needs it? That would be stupid. Picking up the arrow pot. He just wants the Master Sword Soloist Ganon. He dreams of it. Is there an arrow pot in that last room that has the heart pot and the big magic?
I don't think so. Are there even any more pots than that? I don't remember.
There's some in here, but they don't have anything. Yeah, so that was Pyramid Fairy for AceT. Down to
Hair Basement.
Hair Basement.
I'm not sure who did Catfish either, so. But I would have think they'd have done it by now since they were more limited on what they could do. Oh yeah, so there's 5 pots in this room, and my mind blocks out all the sections of that room in that I don't walk.
Taka knows. Taka knows what he's doing. I always end up getting the arrows in the room after Landmo 2 because I'm trying to find the heart and I don't know which one it is, so I end up picking up all of them.
My mind doesn't even register that there's any pots in that room besides the heart and the magic. I could not have told you how many there were in the room. Now I know there's 5. So after Ace does his checks, they're gonna have nothing left. Yeah. And this is Tracy's last crystal dungeon that she can do. They won't have any progress that either of them can make anywhere, which is kind of it's good in that it shows they synced. They kept sync really well, but yeah, so E-Tank in Hera Basement, we got to see that. And I think now they're at the point where they have to figure out what they missed. Oh, Tracy getting the 6 turtle flip. Big fan of that.
I actually think that AceT has not seen Waterway. I think they both went through without speed. Hitaka checked it. So Ace is either doing that, or he's just doing Turian. Because he doesn't know.
I guess they check criteria supers. I feel like going down Blueprint is faster to get to Waterway, but I'm not sure. He might be doing Turian.
Yeah.
I think Turian is something I would let Tracy do.
Yeah.
So.
It's just, yeah, if they both have no idea, Turian will give them time to think, at least, while they're still progressing in the seed. But yeah, this has got to be the Waterway check. Yeah, this is sad for them. Looks like Tracy is following suit. She'll be about at the door to Turian once Ace realizes that Waterway is nothing.
So they looked at criteria supers already, I guess.
I'm not 100% sure whether they did. I know somebody did.
I think if they had, Ace would have gone there first because it's closer. So
yeah. There's that.
Okay, so I think Tracy does Turian right now. Maybe they both do it, but yeah, they're at the point now where they have to figure out what they've missed. I guess Hitaka probably knew that Aeropot is in Pre-Moldorm too.
Yeah, Taka poked Gian in there instead of... and then it's always hard to not, like, do the muscle memory for the sword spins, the silverless spins.
Yep, there's the map coming up. I'm actually not sure where Tracy's going.
Yeah, not either.
Because Ace just gave her the bad news.
There's Ganon down for Hitaka. Little G for Hitaka. Taka actually a little bit ahead of Maniacal.
Oh, they're actually really close together though for their Turians. Does they ever check Wavegate? That's an odd thing. Maybe it's like they don't remember.
Yeah.
If
they're just making sure they don't. I think they don't know.
Yeah, Tracy has it. Tracy has it open, but it's not filled on the map, so that doesn't mean anything. Oh yeah, they might have actually legitimately forgotten that neither had it filled out on the map.
Weird. I swear I remember Tracy doing this, but maybe she was doing it and missed it. I don't know. Oh yeah, Michael hadn't done Kraid either. Like, I thought that, because I remember Kraid not being filled in for him. And then it suddenly was, and I didn't remember him coming back for
it. Yeah, I didn't notice.
That's funny.
Okay, so they were gonna finish a decent amount apart.
Yeah. So it wouldn't have hurt the team for Hitaka to have picked up one of the swords. This is the first team to finish, so speeding ahead of your partner and beating your partner by 20 minutes does not help your team at all.
Ace and Tracy are going somewhere very purposefully, and I'm very curious where it is that they haven't checked.
The wrong direction from where they need to go.
They must have thought of something in particular that they're both rushing, because otherwise, like, one of them would be doing terrain right now.
Hmm. What could it be though? No clue. It's not really anything like, because you might miss something down here in Norfair if it's like one of those seeds where you don't get Morph early, but you get Varia early, and you're able to check some of these things, and you miss some of the Morph Tunnel stuff. But other than that, I don't know what's really missable here in Norfair.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they didn't have a particular thing in mind.
Yeah, they're checking the maps.
Like them both doing Turian would be. Oh, I know why they're not doing Turian. Their ammo counts are bad.
Oh, yeah, that would be a problem.
Okay,
Especially Ace.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Tracy would be able to get away with it almost with refilling.
Almost. Okay. Yeah, I think so. 45 times 3 is 120, 135. Yeah, she has like 220 combined. 220 effective missiles, which is like, that's really, really, really uncomfy. Yeah. Wait, she map cleared attic, so like she went to the far right tile of the room and did not see the item properly and thought it was something else. That's actually even worse.
I checked the VOD back and didn't see her go that way at all. But
oh, that's right, you did check the VOD.
Maybe she went back in at one point and did that. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think I would have noticed that.
Yeah.
You normally don't like go back into wreck ship.
She's probably headed that way after she scans the criteria map.
It's like it's super weird in co-op though when you're trying to like look at the map to figure out what you haven't checked, because your map isn't going to have the stuff filled in that your partner did, so that makes it pretty unreliable for figuring out exactly what you missed.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually I didn't really think of the map solution though, so they will figure this out pretty soon actually. Doing a pretty good job figuring it out actually. It's not going to take them very long.
Yeah. He's covering the old Kakariko checks. How many times have you bombed the wall in the well and just walked right out without checking the item? Never me.
Yeah, okay, so Tracy's seeing it on her map. She's going to know.
Yeah. This hurts.
Yeah, it's like almost even. It's almost worse because you got the other glove here, and the entire time it was never supposed to be the first glove.
Yeah, they got it. They got the first glove much earlier than Oumslaw got to the gloves. So had a bit of an advantage there with the proper Dark World access.
Yeah.
And she hates this room. Now she probably hates it even more. Yeah. There's a mitten.
I kind of don't like it when the check that you forgot is in Super Metroid, because when you see it on screen, you have to look at the item like blinking in just this sort of like innocent, infuriating way before you pick it up. You don't just see it in the chest for like half a second and it's gone. You have to look at it for longer. It's like, oh, I'm right here.
Been here the whole time.
Oh, it's also like in Key Sanity, if you last location, you forget your big key somewhere, and then the text box is super condescending. It's like, oh look, it's the big key of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and even then, they're still not in go mode. Like, they still need to find the fire rod behind the mitts, find charge behind the mitts and boots.
Those items are all, they're all fairly related.
Yeah, they're pretty decent spots, but.
So Hitaka being in the escape is about to finish the second game. So they're going to get the news that their opponent's finished pretty soon. So maybe they choose not to finish it out after that. Go mode of SMZ3 is pretty long when you're playing it out under normal conditions. If you're doing it off the back of like having missed items, and, sometimes not the most worthwhile experience to play it out. I actually think like cross keys is one of those modes that you still play it out even if you lose, if you feel like figuring out the puzzle, but it's just a short ending after that.
That is both games done for Hitaka, finishing with a time of 2 hours 26 minutes and 3 seconds. Get your GG is in for Hitaka. And Ace, funny enough, going right to Ice Palace, going to, I think, maybe thinking like, okay, what's the worst possible place that fire rod could be that I could maybe intercept instead.
Okay, you know that's a good plan. I like that.
I think it's more of a desperation play rather
but
than.
Like he's finding out right now that they're out of it.
Yeah. Tracy will come across the boots soon. Man, Michael was at looked like 105.55, so his aim out was actually good. I mean, you spend such a long time in A Link to the Past, you forget what your ammo is looking like, so I don't blame him for picking up charge anyway. Going for Blue Bomber. Tracy is actually gonna poke her head into Turtle Rock. I'm gonna be locked out after the first chest.
Yeah, it's another sort of weird thing to do, hopefully. But Knuckle is about to finish and win for their team with a time of 2:28.49. So GG's to Maniacal, GG's to Oumslaw. They will be advancing to winner's quarters to face Team Farts,
Yeah.
Andy and Ivan.
Yeah, AceT not out of the tournament. They will go to the losers bracket and face 10 grams of shrooms.
It actually looks like they're going to be continuing to play it out as well. But meanwhile, we've got Maniacal and Hitaka are winners in. GG's.
Hey, GG's.
Thank you, GG.
GG, guys. Interesting seed. You probably have heard by now, since we're on 10-minute delay, what happened to AceT. In case you didn't, they missed the other glove there in the wreck ship attic, the missile room. So they had the first glove from Gravity a good bit before you guys did.
Yeah, we did Rex.
Not shocked.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah, it was really interesting how it played out. Like I think it was a good play to go to Dark World, and actually have you both chase it from that position in Meridia. It just didn't really turn out to pay off at all. But
yeah,
it
was an interesting split.
Yeah, I knew from pretty early it would be that we had Dark World access to Meridia, and Maniacal was going to go do that, and I thought, well, having one person like full clear the Dark World boots is really slow. So I thought if I do it Wreck Ship, but then when he found the bow, I thought, well, gotta go get that anyway, so I'm just going to go follow him and put the Dark World between us.
oh, so it was the bow that pushed you. That's interesting.
Yeah, I really wanted to be able to reset a couple of those Meridia locations.
Oh yeah, the sword at Shack tool is actually really funny.
Yeah, I was like, sword, I guess I keep it, and then bow as well. I was just like, oh my gosh. I really didn't want to do high jumpless speed plasma. But it went better than I expected it to, given some recent short charging issues I have had in that exact room.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that you were the one doing that room when Hitaka was the one who had plasma.
Yeah.
Yeah, we felt like I was ahead at that point because I had found all the stuff in Bryn Loop and Hitaka had done some stuff that hadn't really worked out.
As usual.
Yeah, as is pretty typical for us. And so we thought like the onus was on me to do the bad parts of Meridia and try and rule things out. And then Hitaka passed me anyway, because I did all of the bad Dark World Overworld without boots.
Yeah.
And went into, like, walked all the way back around to Skull.
Yeah, boots not required for this seed, but definitely nice to find, at least before Ganon's Tower, especially.
Yeah, once Hitaka found the boots, I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to go and get those before I do any of my Mitz Dark World stuff and like activate Flute, because I still had a decent amount left to do. Still had Swamp that I would have to go through, where like you really want boots, especially for the chest where Bombos was.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like it was worth just going to get them and having them.
Yeah, you guys split things up differently than I might have expected, like Hitaka going to Lower Norfair relatively early. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I did that because I had better ammo, and I had to go do Upper Norfair anyway, and I think Maniacals are going to do other stuff. So
well, I was going to do Lower Norfair, and then you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it, and called me off. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'll go do Meridia or Upper Red Tower. I think I still didn't have my hammer from Beta Power Bombs, so I had to go grab that and Ice Beam, and then go into Meridia. Which, I mean, Meridia turned out to be loaded, but I guess Wreck Ship also was loaded. So
yeah.
those were sort of the three choices that we had at that point: was Lower Norfair, Wreck Ship, and Meridia. We each picked one, and we just left the one that had gloves.
Yeah, it didn't come back to harm you too much, just because you did have Dark World access technically through Meridia. just wasn't the greatest Dark World access. And then missing the flute doesn't really matter if you don't have a glove, but you do. They're just in the wreck ship.
Yeah,
Yep.
I felt like overall the having that Dark World access and doing all the slow chasing of Dark World instead of just getting the boot or getting the mitts having boots and everything ended up costing us a decent amount, but it's possible we got to the bow a little bit earlier than we otherwise would have.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hitaka and I were talking, and I was just like, okay, the bow might be the thing that's gonna save us a little bit here, because when we found mitts, we were just like, oh gosh.
Yeah, you guys found the bow quite a bit earlier than they did. Tracy did clear Meridia other than Shactool Plasma, and then Ace cleaned it up when he was doing Meridia. Which I think is a pretty typical co-op play.
Yeah, that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
We just assessed that I was probably ahead to that point just because of like Hitaka having to chase to more locations through Bryn Loop and Upper Norfair. That it made sense for me to be doing the full clearing even though I was leading at that point.
Yeah, when we do seeds, for whatever reason in the early game, usually whatever Maniacal does is loaded, and whatever I do is nothing, and then I have to play catch up.
Oh, it's karma for you hogging all the items in multi-world.
That's true.
It is true. Except we keep making him player 2 in 2-player multi-world, and then like he breaks the player 2 curse, so
Yeah.
that works out okay too.
Taka is just gifted like that. Maniacal, I thought when you went up to get your hammer, I thought you were gonna go to the wreck ship right after that. And so that would have made that even more come true, that everywhere you go is loaded.
Well, I mean, my two options, because Hitaka had already taken Lower Norfair, were that or Meridia, and both Wreck Ship and Meridia were loaded. So when Meridia was loaded, I was like, Shactool's a sword, and Plasma's your bow, and you're going to have to come through here. I was just like, you did this to yourself by making me go to Meridia. Like, you knew wherever I went was going to be loaded.
Yep.
Then the other sword.
I think we opted for Meridia over Wreck Ship because suits and also the world access.
Yeah, like it is still hard logic, so Wreck Ship still is pretty terrible, but
yeah.
I mean, I was leaving it up to Hitaka the call which of that or Meridia I was going to do, because it was a little easier to let him make that call and just be like, okay, which of these would you rather not have to do eventually? And then we just both ended up in Dark World, so it probably would have been a safer play to just do Wreck Ship and say, okay, when I go to Meridia, I know I'm going through to Dark World.
Yeah.
But,
actually, I think I joked
hindsight.
at one point. You can blame me once we find both gloves at Wreck Ship.
He did, in fact, say that probably about 40 minutes before we found both gloves in Wreck Ship.
Yeah. So,
like, when we were missing the gloves as, like, suspiciously absent items. Speaking of suspiciously absent items, where was the lamp?
Checkerboard.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
Was super bad for AceT because they did, after finding the lamp, they did pendant landmill for the green pendant, and they did Hera basement. So all those like little things that were fire locked really early in the seed, they had to go back and do looking for the mitts.
Yeah, I think I would have done both of those if I had a fire source at the time when I was in the area.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to do that for sure. I would have made the same play. Hitaka was lamenting being in the Meyer area without the mirror the first time, so he couldn't do checkerboard cave. I was like, dude, you don't have gloves either.
Oh yeah, but I still should have gone over to get mirror before doing LN for desert area stuff, but I guess since I had book, it didn't really matter because I could get into desert that way, and like he said, checkerboard was not actually available, so.
Yeah, we talked about that a bit. Like that also made it surprising that you were the one going to LN. It's like, he can't do anything here, so he's gonna get no information.
Yeah,
but it worked out fine.
Yeah, part of it was that LN's the more like linear required part, and we were biasing toward Hitaka being the one trying to catch up at that earlier part in the seed.
Mhm.
So we were trying to, bring it back to parity. And since you're going to do basically all of Lower Norfair anyway when you do go, it was a way to have me do the crappier areas of Wreck Ship if Upper Wreck Ship was bad, or Meridia if all the things that had items were bad. And to get him, something to do while I got through the bad checks.
But it had absolutely nothing.
And then all the bad check areas did have stuff, and you still beat me by multiple minutes.
Yeah, because I baited you into doing GT before me when you still had work to do.
Yeah, GT and also... Well, no, also like going and walking all the way back around to Skullwoods and doing Crocomire and...
Hey, you're the one who skipped front of Skullwoods. I'm not. I do not endorse that kind of routing behavior, especially when you have, like, Meridian Dark World entry.
Pyramid Fairy was available, okay? Thieves and Pod
that's why you
were
did
beatable.
that.
I was just like, I'm going around to Pyramid Fairy already. I can come back to Skull if I really don't find
it wasn't
anything.
in logic.
But I didn't know I wasn't going to find a fire source at some point on that road. There were like 30 items there.
Yeah, but you didn't know you were going to find one.
Yeah. As it turns out, I didn't. But I was getting that Pyramid Fairy check anyway. Got that gold sword.
I guess it wasn't in logic. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it wasn't in logic, but the lamp could have been anywhere. The lamp could have been Agina, so...
Lamp is always Gina, isn't it? I think like you said though, like Myths early for you guys might have, I don't know how you normally play, but might have caused you guys to miss the bow for a little while, with better things to do than Plasma.
Yeah, it's possible with Myths early that whoever's leading does do those Meridia skips, and it falls to whoever's there second to go back and do them.
Mm.
And I mean, yeah, I don't know exactly how that one shakes out. It's tough because a lot of what you're doing is being responsive to the information that you have and the order in which it came in. So, not clear to me exactly how we would have called that one.
I'm really curious how it would have gone for AceT if they had gotten both gloves in the wreck ship when they were supposed to, because it actually would have been quite a massive advantage for them.
Oh yeah,
and like, they might have missed the bow because of that too. But it would have closed that execution cap. The race would be really interesting.
Yeah, it's a shame that they had like a Stoops mishap come up, but those do happen not infrequently in SMZ3, especially co-op where you're communicating back and forth and processing what your partner is seeing as well.
Yeah,
I make mistakes a lot more often in co-op than I do in single player.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and then it's like, if your partner tells you, okay, hey, there was nothing in wreck ship, you're going to trust their word more than you'd like necessarily trust yourself saying it, because you won't have your partner's experience of like, maybe they'll have that little flashback that's like, oh yeah, I didn't do the room quite the way that I should have to check that.
Yeah, but if it's Hitaka that tells me there's nothing in wreck ship, I'm going to be very suspicious and be like, did you check Ocean? Did you check Attic missiles? Did you check the pre-Fantoon missiles?
Okay, well, I suppose
I never forgot the latter two of those. And I would ask you if you checked left side supers, so there.
It's true. We are not reliable arbiters of the status of wreck ship.
Okay, so some pairings are going to have like things
Yeah.
like that they'll question.
Yeah, it's mostly if we're looking for Kane that I start to get suspicious if Hitaka's skipped locations unintentionally. Most other items, he's money. Just Kane.
I think that was...
I tugged paw twice to make up for Maniacal not doing it.
Thank you, Hitaka.
You're welcome.
I told Hitaka that I have told you previously that if I get the spin speed coming out of Turtle Rock, I'm not giving up those frames to tug the ball. Otherwise, I'll go do it.
Wait, what do you mean? No, you do it before you go in when you jump down.
Yeah.
I forgot to tug ball my race
Oh my God.
somehow, but I blame my controller screwing it. I'm just my story is that my controller was holding upright when I jumped off the Turtle Rock ledge, and it made me go inside.
I tugged paw. That's why we win. I was thinking about it, and it might have been the multi-worlds we did for Tracy's birthday some time ago that I left Hitaka's mitts in right side attic. So it just all comes full circle.
I forgot
today.
about that.
I forgot about that too.
Well, Hitaka didn't need them. Remember, we need to suppress Hitaka's multi-world giftedness.
That's true. I probably just like did overall glitches around them or something.
So, you guys will be moving on to play Team Farts, Andy and Ivan. Have any thoughts that you want to express about that matchup?
Yeah, anything to air out.
I mean, I think we'll be able to sniff out the items pretty well. I feel good about our chances.
All right.
I'm excited for the matchup. Obviously, a very good team. It's always fun to get to play against them. I don't think we got to play against them in the last tournament because we were busy losing to the dynamo of Kekumen, Shoyu, and Zost. If by we, I mean me and Solsky. So I didn't get to play against Fart's last go-around, I think.
Well, good thing you
that'll be fun.
upgraded to Hitaka for your partner.
Yeah.
Who got? Wait, did you not get third in that tourney?
Maybe not.
I thought
think
you
we
beat
did.
them. Maybe not, because I thought you lost. I actually thought you lost to Andy and Ivan. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think we lost to Keku and Zost twice. Like, it was pretty hilarious, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Like they just like had our number. I forget what specific thing happened, but yeah, I think they got third in that one. Solsky and I got fourth.
It's been a long time. I can't remember.
Yeah, that tournament was ancient at this point, but it was a fun tournament. I'm glad that we're getting to run back the format and do it again.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Mostly when my partner's controller works and we're not angry at each other because of it.
Tell me more. So, does co-op SMZ3 or cross keys make you angrier, PBB?
I hate cross keys.
Yeah, same.
I like co-op SMZ3 because it's less long, usually. But yeah, cross keys is evil and should not exist. Every seed is bad.
Yeah, I like how I bullied all of us into doing cross keys and then we all did badly.
Yeah, you and Ninjembro are to blame for the cross keys disaster.
I was doing okay at first.
Maniacal, you were doing really well in cross keys ladder races that you had done.
Was I?
And Retrance, which is kind of the same. I mean, better than me.
I've never done
one.
I've never done a Retrance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like it's basically like cross keys light.
Yeah,
but like every time I look at the listing, it says INV afterward, and I think that means it's inverted, and I'm like, absolutely not. I don't want to do an inverted Retrance, whatever bungle that is, and so I just nope out.
Oh, well, you were fine doing the inverted SMZ3 last fall. Let's see what's the problem with this one.
Inverted SMZ3.
Yeah, the inverted Solsky hosted.
Oh yeah, that inverted. Well, I knew
Yeah.
I knew because Solsky was organizing it that he was going to put me against Aussie in the first round, so I was only going to have to play one match. So I felt pretty okay just signing up for the beating.
My brain also made that same connection, that Retrance was inverted, but I never could figure out why, and maybe that is why, because of the I and V at the end.
Yeah, either way, haven't tried that mode. But have been enjoying the various randomizer like clown modes that just hate you for playing them. So some of the modes I really feel like just don't want you to have joy, and I don't know what it says about me, but I actually really appreciate that.
It's fun to not have fun on purpose. If you end up not having fun, when you're expecting to, it's really bad. But
yeah, like you kind of know what you're signing up for when you're like, I'm doing SMZ3. I'm going to do cross keys. I do like that the number of meaningful decisions you make in each of those games is really, really high. Like, as opposed to like a normal Super Metroid Rando where, you make some meaningful decisions, but like you can get variance, execution's going to carry a lot of weight. And like if you make the wrong call at Red Tower, like there's very little you can do in some seeds. Whereas I feel like that's a lot less common with SMZ3, a lot less common with cross keys. Just because there's so many different items you need, and so many different decision paths, and the texture of seeds is so various.
yeah, there's a lot of cross keys where like the most important call is the very last one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's mid game though.
Yeah. Do I climb GT inexplicably for like 3 items, and I always make the wrong call, whatever it may be.
Yep. Exactly.
Do I run from library to Houlihan, or do I flute to 2?
Yeah. Do I crash my game, or do I?
I mean, that wasn't a decision. That was just the game being badly broken. And they put the door 1 tile too high in the Dark World because they're dumb.
Yeah, the Dark World shifted a little bit. Almost anywhere. It's really weird, and I hate it. And I hate cross keys.
That's what we've all learned over the past 8 weeks.
Yeah, so solo SMZ3, it's pretty bad, but not as bad as cross keys.
Yeah, I feel like we have a harder time getting people signing up for the solo SMZ3 tournament than the cross keys tournament did. So I feel like we need more voices like you out there, PvP, just getting the truth to the people.
I think we just need
it's less bad than cross keys.
I think we just need to have a giant Swiss again, and like have a bunch of people tell them that they get to play a bunch of matches no matter what, and they'll basically do anything you tell them to.
Yeah.
For SMZ3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can make it normal too, since apparently people don't like hard logic. I mean, I'd rather not make it normal, but...
I mean, if by some people you mean Soulscape, yes.
Yeah.
There's at least one person who likes normal logic.
Don't make it normal so Solsky doesn't join. We don't have to deal with him.
People have their disagreements over this, but I will say that I do appreciate the people that whichever side of it they fall on, it's not actually because of having to do the hard logic stuff. It's because of the
Yeah, like algorithmic variations and things that are at least somewhat informed.
Yeah. I can get behind those differences.
Yeah, like there are real philosophical differences about what you value in a seed that leads to the different stances. And it's not just hard mode is hard and I don't want to execute the thing for most people. Although hard mode every once in a while can be really crappy.
Yeah.
It's very rare though.
There was kind of like that one weekly the other week with like the one that I won that was basically like just dude suitless Dragon and you win. That one I think was kind of a bad normal seed. I don't remember in particular. I actually don't even remember who played that one.
It would depend when it was. I mean, I've been off the weeklies for a few weeks due to travel and stuff, so I missed quite a few of them. I know there was one that I was in that you won a while back, so it may have been that one. I don't remember the texture of that seed, so clearly very useful conversation here.
You were off this tournament for a few weeks too, which is why this is the last second round match, like a week after all the others.
Yeah, so big thanks to AceT for being good about working with us. I had some travel mishaps and real life shenanigans that led to me being trapped in another town for basically an extra week. That was very suboptimal. And so we were hoping to have this done earlier, but I'm glad we're able to get it on the calendar.
It was suboptimal. How many frames did you lose?
Let's see, it's what, 60.09 per second, and I lost about a week.
Well, we are bringing in Tracy and Ace0 to come in for the interview while the delay plays out, while they finish up Mother Brain and Turian. So welcome in, Ace and Tracy. GG's.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah.
GG's. Big oops.
GG's.
GG's.
GG's to you guys too. I mean, for us to beat you, we need to not make a mistake, and you guys need to make a mistake. So we didn't hold up our end of the bargain. So.
The sad thing is that your wreck ship play, if you had actually gotten both the bits, would have been so advantageous compared to when they got it. The race would have been really interesting.
Yeah, we put wreck ship off a really long time.
Oh no.
we went through Meridia and did all of Dark World via the Meridia portal without boots, and so like did Thieves and Pod and Pyramid, all gloveless. Swamp. Went back around to Skull. We were both just like hoofing it out in Dark World, finding a big nothing. So, and then Hitaka was finally like, "Okay, I'll go to wreck ship."
I was on Team Oumslaw for that one. I was really pulling for that routing. I thought Dark World was going to pay off, and it really did.
I did too.
I liked the play.
Once we got the glove, we were great. You know, all this Dark World open. But yeah, I've never skipped that location before, and I don't know what possessed me to not go there, but I didn't go there, and I didn't even open the door. Like when I went back to it and saw the door was gray, like it just completely didn't go there. I also skipped Wavegate somehow, which was nothing.
So my theory is that it is because of watching too much Bingo.
You know, I was thinking of. I said that to Ace. I commentated Bingo, and no one goes there. Although we did have people go there this morning for like a full clear wreck ship, but it makes me sad because I mean I don't know that we would have won, but I would have liked to have seen what their race would have been, because I mean we shouldn't be doing it. We're to the point where a 3-hour seed is usually either there's something bad in the seed, which we did have a practice seed like that, or we just messed up, and that was us messing up. And I mean, Ace did his share of messing up too, but I don't think that hurt us nearly as much. Like,
I'm curious.
Not checking the checkerboard cave before Meyer to get lamp.
Yeah, well, the first time I didn't have the glove. I'm curious if my difficulties in LN were like something that distracted you. I guess maybe
I forgot about
maybe,
that.
maybe
I-
I don't know.
Maybe it was like
I
when I
really don't
soft
know.
walked, and I was like, well, I guess I'm
I
leaving.
feel like I was in
Leaving quickly,
Meridia though for
like,
that. I don't remember where I was at
thought
that
you were in
point.
wreck ship at that point in
Yeah,
time.
I
but
don't
know
remember.
where
Yeah.
specifically. Yeah, that was
I-
really bad. I was embarrassed about that. Like, obviously I didn't have enough ammo to do it without the power bombs, but the fact that I missed so many power bombs that I couldn't get like in the center of the screen to lay them right, and I thought I had enough still, like 2 or
Yep.
3 away from running out, and I guess I didn't.
I don't think you were close at all. Like the way that I was
I only
seeing
missed
like
one
Ridley's
super.
color and the way he was moving around. Oh, really?
I only missed one super. I missed a couple of missiles, and the power bombs were bad.
Well, you didn't have that much ammo going in to begin with.
Did
Like
not,
you had like
yeah.
35 and 20, and I guess you just missed too many power bombs.
Yeah, that's for sure what it was. I mean, not missing the one super, that's pretty big, because that's like 2 power bombs basically there that I'd have to make up for.
By the way, you can see me boycotting Charge Beam.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
really hoping, like,
You have a lot more ammo.
I was really hoping I just got like 1 missile pack or 1 super pack. Because I was like, if I get 25 supers, like, I'm comfortable with this fight. Otherwise, like, it's gonna be really rough. But what are the chances there's no ammo in like the next 10 checks? And of course, they were literally all just garbage from Link to the Past, like heart piece, arrow capacity.
We
I
should
got, like,
send you
powder,
to
I
wreck
think,
ship.
but-
Because we remember we were even joking.
You're
Because
not
usually, if I go to wreck ship, there's nothing, and if he goes to wreck ship, it's everything. We that's our mistake. Is we should have sent you to wreck ship, and then you would have found both gloves, and we would have been fine.
Yeah, it would have been really interesting to see like what route you would have pursued, like when you would have gotten to Bow specifically. That would have been really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Bow Plasma would have been probably worse. Because we had not gone back to checkerboard to get the lamp for a really long time. That hurt us too, because we didn't have a good way to get there without the mist, and there was like nothing really in the area except for fireless Mire and Ridley.
I full cleared pod without the bow because it wasn't bow locked at all, and didn't do the right side because I didn't have a potion. And then I went back in there because I'm like, oh yeah, there are items left in pod, and it could be our fire source, and it wasn't. And as I'm in there and debating whether I should just do dark pod or not, Ace finds the lamp, and at that point I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing dark pod with lamp available.
Yeah, you guys seem to find like items that would be convenient for the other person at like exactly the same time. Like you found Spring Ball right when Ace was checking Spring Ball with power bombs.
That
Ace.
was
Yeah. I didn't have the morph bombs either, so I had to power bomb my way back out.
We had a long argument as to whether I should pick up that tempered sword too, and I finally said, well, it'll make my Argus faster, it'll make my Trinex faster. And then when he found the gold sword in Pyramid Fair, he's like, do you want the gold sword? I'm like, no. If it's in Pyramid Fair, I wouldn't spend all that time in Shacktool. It just invalidates that. So yeah, that's how I ended up on the tempered. I see you guys, I see Maniacal got all the swords and Hitaka had to do the Master Sword fight. I think if we had done this right, I think we both end up a Master Sword. I don't think we ever go to Pyramid Fair or Shacktool.
It was a really nice seed, and
it's totally free.
with when you were supposed to have gotten your mitts, I think you had a really good chance. It just depends a lot on the bow, but
yeah, I think the bow being there maybe incentivizes Shacktool more, but I think Pyramid Fairy being bow locked, like, that's really hard to get to.
Oh no, I just mean like whether you would have checked Plasma to find a bow if you had all the mitt stuff open.
Yeah,
like, it might have been a while. Yeah. Although we went through the mitts checks pretty quickly between the two of us. I think the only thing we end up not doing is purple chest.
There wasn't a lot left.
And for some reason, I turned in the smith and then checked it. Like, you have to turn in the smith. I guess you don't have to. Like, he'll just disappear when you. Or maybe he lets. No, that may not be true. He may not let you go into Turtle Rock or into the dungeon. So
yeah, you have to do a drop down.
Won't you take me someplace nice?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but I didn't have to go back in to get the item, which was bombs. Like, which I guess I would have found out much sooner if I. Because when I did these down, I could have easily just done. Because I had mirror, I could have easily just done the Smith chain right then and there.
Yeah, I felt good about when we got to Smith chain and found Fire Rod behind mitts. Like, it was.
Yeah.
I did it before going into Mire, before Ice. I did the overworld stuff just because we didn't have a fire source yet. And I would have checked checkerboard had I had I done the mire area first and then found the fire source, done a full clear mire instead of hitting God Mire. So like we got a little bit lucky with where the fire rod was. That may have helped had you had the mitts very early.
Yeah, I mean, if we had those, so when we got them, I mean, I just went straight up to Turtle Rock. I'm like, well, if everything's there, we can just go. Of course, we still had to do Skull Woods, but then, you know, we got the boots up there, which led to we got our charge beam. Ace was not finishing this game. I don't know where you guys were on ammo, but Ace was not anywhere close to finishing this without charge beam. That was going to be hard required. I couldn't remember where enough super packs were to send him back to those.
I think Hitaka and I were both okay. I know I didn't end up using charge, even though I went and got it after Ganon.
I had 55 supers and some number of missiles, so I was fine.
I mean, you just saw me just, you know, say, I'm going to just boycott charge. Because, you know, that way I didn't have to turn off my screw attack. Just use it. It's just kind of funny. Like sometimes I feel like there's too many missiles in this game, but I don't know what you'd replace them with, so whatever. So just do this, you know, so when you can do Zebs and Mother Brain 1 and Mother Brain 2 and still have a ton of missiles left is kind of funny.
Replace them with more 20 rupees, of course.
Of course.
Replace them with beam ammo.
Bomb upgrades. Bomb capacity upgrades.
Well, they'd have to be green 20s, right? To match hard mode in Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, and the reason I went into ice and then left immediately was because I forgot it was a pendant.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Well, no, we don't have the MSU packs in our little thing here. I don't feel bad for people that mess that up for MSU packs because I'm not a fan. At least not on the restream. If you do it on your personal streams, I don't care.
It was my fault, I'll say. So we had mire and ice available at that point behind mitts, and I was like, Hitaka, which of these do you want to do? I feel like ice is probably the more efficient full clear, so you should do that one.
Yeah, you did say that. All right,
and
yeah.
Because I just never trusted that ice was the pendant, despite Hitaka telling me twice that it was the pendant. So I just had a question mark on my tracker for ice, and I was like, go do ice.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
And then
So
that
that one's my
Hitaka had a
fault.
question mark over his head, like like an anime or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just want to point out, if anybody's wondering, you know, those people that may have been wondering why we don't allow automatic map trackers, this race actually demonstrates pretty graphically why. It should not be, like, because if I'd had a map tracker, I would have caught not checking. If I had an automatic map tracker, it would have caught that I didn't check the missile pack there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have missed that location.
Exactly.
I think you would have missed it, honestly.
But the point being that I feel like it just tells you too much. Like I don't even like the fact that the map trackers are dynamic and they tell you what's in and out of logic. But if you add the automation to it, I think it just makes it too easy to not miss that stuff. And and yes, maybe that would have changed the outcome of this game for us. But I still don't think it's right. I don't think we should win because, hey, I looked at my map tracker and, oh, whoops, I didn't check that one location. And yeah, I don't think that's right. So for those of you wondering, that's why.
Oh, so you did it on purpose to prove?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. I did it totally on purpose just to demonstrate a point. No, of course not.
Well, AceT, you are not out of it yet. You'll go on to face 10 grams of shrooms.
Yep. We've been waiting for a long time.
The good thing to take away from this run, I think, for us is that, like, at least for me, I feel like I played pretty well overall, apart from the Ridley issues. Like I and Tracy, we both had some things that we aren't too accustomed to.
Oh yeah,
I
my
got
ice
the
clip.
mock ball. Sorry, go ahead.
You got the mock ball out of early
mock
supers.
ball out of early supers that I've gotten like once ever before, and I was just like, I don't need anything at the top, right? And I just did it.
Yeah, that was arrows.
Nice.
I can tell you right now that was arrows. And I got the X-ray assisted ice clip to actual, which I'd never gotten. I've gotten the ice clip many times. I've never made it work with the X-ray, so there you go. I just got frustrated because I got it in the right, what I thought was the right place, but it looks exactly the right place, but it isn't quite, like, you're a pixel off. And then I couldn't freeze it anywhere close to the right place. So finally I just said, okay, I'm gonna try using X-ray and see if I can make it work, and it did. So, but I guess that's a plus. But
the turnaround that you do with the X-ray is actually kind of similar to like the angle cancel turnaround that you used to get unstuck.
Which I've never successfully done either.
Oh, well, sure, that was helpful.
Yeah, I never remember how to do that when I actually could benefit from it.
Same. I've looked it up 3 times in races because I've not been able to get it. And I look it up and then I get it immediately once I like figure it out again.
I don't know how many times I've gotten stuck in Gauntlet and be like, "But how do you do that thing again?" Every time, but yeah, I had fun. I know it's disappointing to have the race go this way, but any final thoughts from our runners tonight?
It is what it is. We lost a good friend, so I mean we can't be too upset.
Oh no, he lost a good friend. That sucks.
No.
Shucks.
See if Maniacal and Hitaka can take out Andy and Ivan. I hope to commentate that race, by the way. So hopefully you schedule it at a good time, or actually even if it's a bad time, my schedule's pretty free.
Yeah.
So.
that should be a good match. It should be a real gas.
God. Yeah, GDs to our runners: AceT, A0, Tracy M, and Oumslaw, Hitaka, and Maniacal. Give them a follow if you're so inclined. And thank you to Lenafis and Bright on tracking. And thanks to Boat for commentating with me tonight.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Andy and Ivan are one of the last few teams in the tournament that are undefeated so far.
Huh?
What? You're probably using a word that I don't know.
Nah.
We're not smart enough for that pun.
So
I
far.
didn't slur the word enough to.
So far.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's okay.
I get it now.
Yawn.
Well,
I like
no, but
yawn.
there's a lot of teams that are still like you guys are still undefeated. Come on.
Yeah, everyone
I had to make it work.
Like everybody else in here is.
Okay, so it works. It works doubly because it was also a stinker. So.
Get him out of here.
Yeah. Well, I still appreciate you all commentating. I know it was pretty last minute. I mean, I've surely done my share of Azure comms, so it's always fun when he gets on here for me, and of course, Bowler Bunny as well. You know, you two are fun to listen to. I can't guarantee I'll actually watch. Maybe I'll watch this back a few months later on YouTube, or I don't have to look at chat because I have a hard time watching these back when I lose. But the pain will go away, and I'll get to just cover our screen and see what Maniacal and Hitaka did.
We didn't do wreck ship. That's the spoiler.
Yeah, you can watch a good portion of the match without anyone knowing that you missed the bits in wreck ship. So.
It was actually really crazy.
So was there like a whole thing with chat saying, "Well, we still don't know what's at Attic Missiles"?
We were no. We didn't notice that it was
we
missed.
We didn't know that you missed it.
Yeah, so we were like,
We had
we
no
were
idea.
very confused when like the second
yeah.
glove showed up, and we were like, wait, where was the second glove? It was in the ship. No, it wasn't. We saw the ship already.
You're like, no, you guys are wrong.
Oh my.
At like the 2-hour mark too. It was like real late.
Yeah, it's pretty late. So
I will say this: we did figure it out pretty quickly. Like I mean, my philosophy is we just check the maps. Like, check your map, see where you're going. So first I checked Brinstar. I'm like, oh, it's Wavegate. And Ace was right there, and he gets it. And I went and grabbed it because we still didn't have charge, so I grabbed it too because it was missiles. And then when that wasn't the answer, I'm like, okay. And then I went to Meridia. I'm like, nope. I looked the map, everything's there. And then I'm like, then just thinking real hard. Oh wait, maybe I was distracted in wreck ship. I should go check there. And sure enough, yep, Mit's right there, just sitting there waiting to be grabbed.
I guess we should have known it would be in the robot room because Robo uses the fists as his equipment.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we should have known.
Yeah.
But we did not.
No, none of us knew. different ways of getting there late, but yeah, it fortunately we didn't take that long, but yeah, it did very much change what we did before that. Having to get to Lone Warfare every time the long way, because flute plus gloves doesn't do it. Although I tried at one point.
Oh, it was actually so funny because when you got the flute and the gloves there, I was just like, okay, well that's fine. The flute doesn't do anything with this item set, and it was totally supposed to. It's supposed to do a lot.
Yep. Oh my! Actually, I mean, the fact that we could get that far without it. Although Myths doesn't open up that much, and we could do 5 of our dungeons without them. Which probably didn't help us, but
But yeah, GG's AceT. Good luck in your next race.
Yeah, GG's to you all
Thank
too.
you.
Good luck.
Same to you.
Good luck in your next race. Like I said, it's gonna be a tough one, but should be a good one.
Yeah, thanks. GG's.
To be the underdog for once, but I think you guys will wear it well and do well.
Alright, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Sorry that my co-com put you through those terrible puns.
You don't have to apologize for I don't apologize for my significant other.
He's just full of a lot of hot air.
God. Stop it now. Okay, tomorrow is our next SMZ3 co-op tournament race. No Shields versus Died in Hype Cave at 3 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll hope to see you there. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.